ready? Are we finally ready? Finally? It's been, it's been a week. It's just been a week. Hi, it's Order 42. I'm Rob. This is the show. How's it going, guys? Look at this. We already got some people in here. We already got some votes. That's a good thing. I like to see the votes because you never know what you're going to get. But look, we got Ricky coming in hot this week. He was first. He was first this week. So you got to give it to him. But yeah, we got Ninjinzu Games in here. We got Bucho. We got Rufus the Red. Moi and Noir, welcome. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. You will always vote for Custard? Okay, then. Hearty congratulations. Yes, to Ricky. That's right. And only one thumbs up. I mean, now two. But hey. Look, here's the thing. Whatever. You know, you want a thumbs up, you want a thumbs down, you want to comment, you want to subscribe. All that stuff is cool. It helps out the channel. But I'm just glad you're here. That's really what it comes down to. I'm just glad you're here. But yeah. The best of all the food groups. Yes. Shozama, welcome. You've been here, but you kept silent. Well, hey, it's good to see you. It wasn't fair to always get first, you know. And yeah, the birthday. We'll get into the birthday. There's not much to report, you know. Wasn't that big of a deal, but I do want to bring this up. Couple of things that I want to bring up first before we really get into things. You might notice I just switched this around today. I was just messing around to see if that would fit, and it does. I don't know if you can. Yeah. So, I mean, it's okay. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. But yeah. Yeah, let's do this first. Okay? Let's get this going. We lost Louis Gossett Jr. last week. 87 years old. Look, the dude was he was amazing. Now, I knew him from Iron Eagle. I mean, that's the movie that I knew him from. But yeah, Louis Gossett Jr., 87 years old. What a career. You know, he wasn't in as much later in life than I expected, but he was great in Watchmen. The HBO series, which some people didn't like Watchmen. I loved it. I thought it was great. And you had my boys Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross doing the soundtrack. So of course I was down. But yeah, so yeah, big ups to Louis Gossett Jr. And unfortunately, we got some other news. Chance Perdomo. I don't know why that comes up like that. But yeah, I don't know if you guys were watching Gen V, but he was pretty awesome in it. I really liked him, and I liked his character. And yeah, unfortunately, 27 years old, got into a motorcycle accident, and he's unfortunately gone. And apparently, the Gen V cast and crew said a lot of nice things about him. And of course, saying that they're shocked and they're not sure what to do. They were supposed to start filming next Monday, or at least get into the first read through on season 2 of Gen V. So there's probably a lot of scrambling on as to what they're going to do with Gen V, but I thought he was good. I thought he was good. That's the only thing I'd seen him in. But yeah, I was kind of looking forward to what he was going to do next. It's one of those things where you see a person like that come in and put in a performance like he did. You thought this was just the beginning of a long career. But there you go. So I wanted to acknowledge those two losses this last week before we really got into things. So there you go. There you go. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Y'all spend it in nature. I did. I spent my birthday in, we did a 4.5 mile hike Saturday morning. We went to my in-laws or I guess my mother-in-law now. Went over to her house and hung out with the family, you know, and then we had like a grilled chicken vegetable lunch. It was actually pretty nice. And then for my birthday dinner, I chose the one and only, the place that, look, I had my choice. I had my choice of everything around here. There's so many different places to eat, and I chose my favorite. And you're going to go, "Really? That's what you chose?" Yeah, it's what I chose. I chose Jersey Mike's. That's right. I chose Jersey Mike's, and you know what? It was awesome. It was great. It was great. It's my favorite thing. It's literally my favorite thing. I mean, you anything. Pizza, Italian food, in general. Uh I love a good Mexican food, thing, big shindig with all the stuff. I like my street tacos. There's so much food I like. I like bibimbap, you know? I like some Korean, what do you call it? Fusion stuff. I love all that stuff. But Jersey Mike's is what I wanted, and that's what we had, and it was awesome. So, there you go. So yeah, we didn't do much of anything crazy. It was just, yeah, it was good. It was actually really good. It's it's one thing to get it and then take it home and eat it, or like if you were working somewhere, you get it and then you take it to your desk or whatever, and you're eating at your desk. It's different. It's different when you get it fresh. You literally pay for it. You go down and you sit down. It's just good, and it's the one place. It's the one place that no matter how many times I've had it, no matter how many different locations I've had it, it's always good. So there you go. And yeah, you guys mentioned Thursday. Thursday was a day that if you weren't a fan of Rob, of this guy, you were gonna have a bad day, because it started off with the Game Chasers episode with Trader's Village, and then of course the talk about Blockbuster Video, the one that we all worked at, and then later that night I was on with Game Dave over on Game Dave's stream. It was actually really fun, but there's a lot of things that just, man, just because of the way that we were doing it, I couldn't see what he was doing. So like the joke that I had right at the beginning just didn't work for me. It was like, damn it, I wanted that to be, like really funny and all that, and it just didn't quite work. But it was, it's a thought that counts, I guess. But anyway, I'm happy that if you guys haven't seen that, by the way, it's still over on the Game Dave Twitch channel if you want to check that out. It was actually a pretty fun talk. Um, I would probably I'd probably just go ahead and bow out after once he starts playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Some might say, "Hey, that's spoilers." He's like in the middle of the game. I don't want to see that stuff. But also, I couldn't hear anything that was going on, so I was just reacting to what Dave said, basically. So it was a little awkward there, but I still had a great time, and hopefully we can do it again at some point. Either over here or over there or whatever. It was fun. So yeah. Oh, 112 Abraham, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you there. Looks clean back there. Aesthetics. I mean, it was just something I was trying, because up here there's what you can't see. There's a whole one of these squares just packed with Tolkien stuff, and I wanted to bring some of it down. And I like the leather, the little leather pocket book set right here. It's kind of neat. And then of course my hardcover paperback of The Hobbit. So yeah, I mean, it was just something different. I don't know. I was just messing around. But yeah, it's kind of cool. The Game Dave Movie Rob crossover was so good, by the way. Don't use that rating lightly. Thank you, Bucho. I appreciate that. Iron Eagle for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, Ricky, you've never seen Iron Eagle? I mean, that's a mid-80s classic in my opinion. And of course, Enemy Mine, he was great in that. That was one of those movies that I remember as a kid, I felt it was really, really slow. And then I watched it like much later, probably like 10, 15 years later, watched it again. I'm like, man, this movie's just good. This is a good movie. So there you go. Wolfgang Peterson directed that. The same director as The Neverending Story, right? That is right, right? I'm pretty sure I'm right. But yeah, got to get it Mike's way. Exactly. That's exactly what I did. See, here's the thing. That's another thing about Jersey Mike's. If you don't mind, I'm gonna talk about Jersey Mike's for just a second. Okay. Jersey Mike's is one of the places where I've had just about everything on the menu except for the tuna. I'm not a big. I like tuna the way that I make it, and no place that I've ever gotten it has gotten it the way I like it. But I've had just about everything on that menu, and it's always good. It's always good. So I don't know. No bowing out for me. I don't even like Final Fantasy, but I stayed in it and it was fun because of you two riffing. Well, I mean, again, it was a little awkward for me because I couldn't hear anything, and I felt like I could have even like given even more if I could hear the game, but I couldn't hear the game because if I turned on the stream was like 5 or 6 seconds behind, so it was weird. But anyway, I don't know how good his PC is, but could have screen shared to you what he was doing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that would have worked. I don't know. Because that's the difficult thing. Because I've actually thought about why can't we do a thing where, like, I stream a thing where, we're playing, let's say we're playing PUBG, right? Why not? I mean, PUBG is just an example, but if we were playing PUBG, why couldn't we do the basically a Zoom call or in our case we were doing a Discord call, and I just capture that, and so we have both sides of the video, so you can see what the other person's doing, whoever it is, and me, and then the gameplay's here, and you can see both people, and I'm like, I don't know how that would work. I don't know how that would work for him to send me his video because he's also sending me his face, and it's a different feed. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I just don't know. But anyway, uh, let's see. Never heard of Iron Eagle. Okay. I'll just tell you this, Ricky. It's kind of not exactly as good as Top Gun, but it's got a lot of Top Gun vibes. Instead of an F-14, it kind of circles around the F-16. And it's just a fun movie, man. It's a fun movie. It's got that 80s cheese, but it's actually a pretty good movie. So you should check it out. Check it out. I love Final Fantasy so much I let it become my identity when I was like 12, and it never really went away. I love Final Fantasy like a woman. I have the 1, 2, and 3 Famicom titles on the way from Japan. Pretty much fills out my collection. Yeah, see, like, I like Final Fantasy, and I like 7, but I've tried to get into the older ones, and I just can't. I can't do it. And then I tried 8, wasn't a fan. I tried 9 multiple times because I keep hearing everybody says, oh, if you like 7, you need to try 9. And I just can't get into 9. I can't get into the story. And it's just, I remember, I don't know if some people might remember this, some people may not. But I tried it on stream and was just like, this isn't clicking with me. And it seems very like a very slow game. But I don't know. Jersey Mike's the best outside of some New York pizzerias that make a great sub. Oh, well, that's the thing. I've never had like a really good sub. Like, one of the things that I wanted to do when I was when we were in Pennsylvania is I wanted to go through Pittsburgh because I wanted to try that sub place. Where they put the fries on it. I wanted to try the whole experience. I couldn't, we just never did it though. And of course, Philly cheesesteak, I had to have that when I was in Philly. Which I gotta say was kind of like, it's fine. It was fine. I've had just as good of a Philly cheesesteak here in Texas than I did from the original places in Philly. And I mean, it's just, look, hey, I know there's probably people that are like, how dare you? But I'm serious, man. Whoever those people are here, they've got the recipe down and it tastes just like it. So I don't know. But yeah, I would love to try some of those places up there. Just like I think a lot of seafood tastes better on the on the coast, on the East Coast than it does in Texas. But then again, I love seafood, period. So I don't know. Uh we should do Helldivers for democracy. Yeah, see, I've seen a little bit of the Helldiver stuff, and I'm kind of like, I don't know, doesn't really like chappy exactly Cosma. But yeah, I don't know, it didn't really connect. It didn't make me excited, you know. Still cold here, above freezing, snow on Thursday, a dusting, then hopefully forward to spring and warmer weather. You know, I'll tell you this. It's been strangely hot here, and now we feel like we're back to early spring. So like, mid 60s kind of stuff, like as a high. We had some pretty bad thunderstorms come through last night. Didn't hit us, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. So it'll be interesting. I hope it's not a crazy hot summer because we're going to be doing a lot of hiking. So I don't know. Final Fantasy 14 right now while watching this stream. Well, Shozama, good for you. I watched Dave play 14 and I was kind of like, looks okay. It for me the story has to click, for me to put that much time into it, the story has to really click for me. And 7, for whatever reason, just absolutely clicked for me. The other ones, it just, I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't know. I think 7's just too good. I love, man. And the funny thing is, I put off playing Remake for a long time. And when I played Remake the first time, I'm like 30 minutes in and I'm like, okay, this game's awesome. I'm actually a little upset that I put this off for so long because this game is awesome. And it really is. So I'm looking forward to Rebirth. I just haven't done it yet. I've been watching a lot of series, which we'll be talking about later too. But yeah. Keep trying 9 too. I think I love it, but it's been 25 years. Just downloaded 14. Figured it wouldn't hurt to play it to level 70. The copy I have for the shelf is the Euro version, so I can't use it aside from the install. But 70 levels is a while, I imagine. Yeah, I would think so. Going to Houston, Katie this weekend for a wedding. Any recommendations while I'm out there? Where are you from, Ninjutsu? Like what area? Because, I mean, there's a lot of... and Billy, welcome. There's no Blu-ray of Iron Eagle. I'm going to change that. I have exactly 2 digital purchases. V, the original, and the original War of the Worlds. There were no Blu-rays for those either. Yeah, see, that's... Billy, I've actually been thinking about doing a video on physical versus digital because I have quite an extensive collection of both. So I don't know. I kind of want to talk about that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff where the HD just isn't available, or at least on disc. Where's my Blu-ray of Soul Man? Does anybody remember Soul Man? C. Thomas Howell? Not a very popular movie. And yeah. And if I did a review of Soul Man, that could get really interesting. But I'm not doing it. Today is the start of 14 versus 16 crossover, Mount Outfit and Minion reward plus more at Manderville Gold Saucer. Those are a lot of words that I don't understand. So there you go. Did Game Day play 14? I thought he hasn't played it. Yeah, he played it on stream a few times. Like I want to say like 2 or 3 streams of it. But yeah, haven't played in 3 years. I think we know who won the poll. 10 votes. Wow. All right, let's just show this off. Okay. So again, we have either luscious or licious, delicious. Like, let's take out DE and the I. Licious. This is the banana butterscotch custard, which at this moment is winning with 73% of the votes. And then chocolate eclair. There you go. Chocolate eclair. And then raspberry white chocolate cheesecake, which I gotta say, that's a really pretty, that's a very, very nice. I mean, these are just nice bottles. I mean, look at the designs. They're just nice looking. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's up on the docket tonight. So banana butterscotch custard is in first place with 73%, raspberry white chocolate cheesecake with 18%, and chocolate eclair with 9%. Now I gotta say, here's the thing. I'm kind of afraid of this one, the chocolate eclair. I kind of want to try this one on stream at some point because it could get interesting. Because here's the thing. There are some chocolates that are absolutely amazing. Like they taste really, really good. And some of them taste like an old foot, like an old severed foot, an old decrepit foot. And it's even worse for the people who have to smell it. There was one, this is way back in the day, when, juice companies would send out like you could buy like a sample pack and they would be like 10 mil bottles, like these tiny little bottles. And you could buy like their whole line, their whole juice line. If they had 10 flavors, yeah, here's 10 mils of all of our different flavors. And so you can figure out which one you like, right? I got one and it was chocolate donut. And it was one of those where, man, I thought it was really good because a lot of donut, for whatever reason, the dough part of it, it's like a lot of places just they turn it up too much. So it almost tastes like you're eating Play-Doh. Did anybody do that as a kid? Did you ever taste Play-Doh? It's gross, right? And it's got this that's what it tastes like though. So it was basically like a lot of them would be like, oh, here's a chocolate donut. Well, it would taste like, okay, some chocolate and then Play-Doh together. And you vape it and you're like, this is horrible. This one got it right. The donut was there, but it was tasty. And the chocolate was good. But for whatever reason, nobody liked the smell of it. And I remember this was back when I was working at this place where they let me vape in the office. And so I would vape every now and then. And I brought that up there one day and I'm vaping on it because I couldn't vape it at home. April basically banned it. She goes, you're not vaping that in this house because it smells like nasty butthole. And I'm like, okay. So I took it up to work, vaping it. And somebody went, whoa, my God, what the hell is that? They thought it was terrible too. So I was like, okay, I'm not vaping this today. Sorry. I just won't vape this today. I'll vape it when I'm alone or outside or whatever, and I won't vape it in the house. So yeah, basically everybody banned that flavor. So that's one of those things. The chocolate sometimes can be really disgusting. So yeah. Yeah. But no, I think with both purchases within a few weeks after the Blu-ray was announced, I'm about to buy the Iron Eagle digital. See, I mean, to me, it's like, here's the thing. And maybe I'll go into this on the video, but I think that there's going to be people that don't want to invest in a physical player. There's people that they look at, okay, the Blu-ray is $15, $17, but then I can get it on iTunes for $5. And these people have the 120 hertz thing turned on, the motion blur. They have all all the smoothing turned on, nothing's calibrated correctly. What are they going to care? They just want to watch the movie. So I kind of want to feel, I kind of want to look at it from not the collector standpoint, like somebody like me or somebody like Billy, but somebody like a regular Joe with a thing, and he wants to buy a movie. What should he do? You know? So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I've been trying to corral those thoughts together, but yeah. Virginia represent. You're in Virginia. Okay. So yeah, I mean, gosh, dude, there's so many different things that you could eat in Houston slash Katy, that area. I would go for something somewhat local or a place like, I mean, of course, you could try, you know, Whataburger or something like that, but yeah, try something that you've never tried before. I just don't remember. I don't remember Katy very well, like what's in there. I know in Houston, I mean, we had Freddy's. I don't know if is Freddy's a national chain. I don't even know, but I know that. Well, I had it like 17 times in like a 3-day period because that's all we pretty much ate. Last Retropalooza, I think. So it was good. I liked it. Uh, Soul Man the makeup. Yes, Cosma. Yeah, that man, that movie. I it'd be curious to watch it with today's eyes because that came out when I was what 8 or 9, 10 maybe, and I thought it was funny, but I was also 8 or 9 or 10 and didn't know any better, right? Watching it now, it might be completely different. But have I checked out Robot Dreams? What is Robot Dreams? Oops. Did y'all hear that? Yeah, it came in. It came through the thing. Robot. Can I type, please? Robot Dreams. Family musical. No, I did not. No, I did not. Moi et noir. Lushes. Carbonite. Did I say hi, Carbonite? Because hi, Carbonite. Good to see you. An announcement of some 4K special edition of Iron Eagle? Maybe. Never had an old foot before? Never ate Play-Doh or Socrates? I won't vape it in the house. Ew, who in their right mind would want to inhale chocolate? If it's good, I'll try it. Why not? Why not? By the way, hi, Christian. Good to see you. Matt Walls, there's also people out there, and this is true, where some people buy a DVD player, buy a DVD, watch the movie. Then when they're done, they throw the movie away. There are people out there like that. Really? See, here's the thing. To me, the way that I look at it, this day and age, if you buy a TV, it's got a lot of storefronts built into the TV. Some of those people will never go beyond that. So whatever storefront they have, Apple TV is coming on a lot of TVs nowadays. And then of course there's, whatever storefront dependent upon the brand. You might have Netflix, you might have, and that's not even a store. That's just a streaming service, but I'm sure there's Google Play / Apple TV / whatever, right? There's going to be people that only rent or buy digital, and that's it. So I don't know. That's strange though. I've never heard of anybody buying a DVD and then throwing it away after. Yeah. Iron Eagle on 4K and seeing the Hades bomb being dropped and boom, on top of that, give me some loving song in the background and one vision. Hey, it sounds like, Cosmo, you're a fan of Iron Eagle. Sounds like you're a fan. That's one of those movies where I saw it so many times as a kid that seeing it again would almost be like watching a new movie because I don't remember a lot of things. Like I'll be like, yeah, I remember this scene. I remember this scene. I remember this scene. But how everything connects and flows together, no idea. No idea. I just remember Louis Gossett Jr. was awesome. And I remember the only F word said in the movie, he says something different and it doesn't match what he says. And I remember it always looked funny to me. And now, as an adult, I remember I watched that scene again and was like, I know what he said. He said motherfucking instead of damn. He says damn. What did he say? 22 years. I can't remember exactly how he says it. But for whatever reason, I guess mother effin would make it an R rating. So they took mother out and had him ADR damn in front of it. And they got a PG-13. It's very strange. Next time you watch Iron Eagle, look for that scene and read his lips. He says mother. He says mother first. Anyway, you heard the beeps? Okay. Well, that just means that the desktop audio stuff is working. So, yeah. Yeah. I thought you said Matt Walsh, and I got excited. I love Matt Walsh. I don't know who that is. Boot Joe would inhale Paw Paw's chocolate finger. I mean, he might. He definitely might. Don't remember Iron Eagle? Yeah, man. I watched it probably because I think it was on a streaming service not too long ago. And I watched part of it and was like, this is actually not a bad movie. It's cheesy, but it's not bad. And I actually like that a lot of the movie takes place with Louis Gossett Jr. as they're trying to make this plan. And he's just great. He's just great. And I've never seen Officer and a Gentleman, you know, what he won his Oscar for. I never saw that. I want a damn Blu-ray of Godzilla -1. Can I find anywhere? Yeah, it's not out yet. They have not released it. And there's no, at least as of right now, this could change, right? This could change any minute. But as of right now, there is no plan to bring a copy of that here to anywhere but Japan. So there's a Japanese Blu-ray that I think we looked at. Let's see. Godzilla -1 4K. Everyone just recently got any. There's been no news about a North American one. Seeing as it made more money in North America than it did in Japan, and it just won Oscar for best visual effects, I cannot imagine it won't get a release here. Question is when, what format, and how much. I really want to see it. It's one of those where I kept putting it off, and it really pisses me off that I didn't get to see it. So, but this is what it looks like, and right now, $95 for this this set, which looks awesome. It looks really, really good. So I'm not sure when it comes out. Like the actual Japanese release date. May 1st. It comes out May 1st in Japan. So there you go. I want to see it really bad, though. Really bad. Monday to Friday train. Yeah. Yeah. What is it? What does he say? Said, I'm so sick of these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. Monday to Friday plane. It's such a bad. It's so bad. But I'm telling you, watch that. Watch that. And maybe mute it. You know, get the line in your head and then mute it and watch it. It looks like he says mother effing. Not damn effing. It's weird. It's a weird one. But I guess that's what it was. I guess mother effing was like, oh no, that's rated R. But damn effing. It's weird. I got both digital. I get both digital and physical. Digital to hold me over till a physical gets released sometimes, or digital if the physical didn't come with a digital copy, or I want to bring my Roku and Nvidia Shield to a family or friends to watch the movie together. Look, all of those are valid reasons. All of them. A lot of times what I'll do, and I almost did it for Aliens, I almost bought the 4K digital copy before I'd already pre-ordered the 4K, the disc, and I almost went ahead and got the digital, which would have been another $20. But with that, you pay $25 for the brand new 4K disc, and it comes with a digital copy. So for me, it was like, I'll just wait. And I actually put off watching Aliens until I'd watched True Lies and The Abyss. And there you go. But we're going to talk more about those three because there's actually some kind of interesting people that have weighed in on that subject. So it's kind of interesting. It cut off my chat reply. Weird. I'm in live chat, not top chat. By the way, you want to see it all? You click on live chat. Because apparently top chat gets rid of some messages. I don't know, it's strange. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay. Don't look at Matt Walsh on stream. He's too controversial. You will get canceled by agreeing with him. Okay, then I won't. Where is the F-16 in the all-time fighter jet rankings? Let's see. That's a hard one. Because man, the F-22 is an amazing plane. The F-14 is probably my favorite. F-15's awesome. F-18's awesome. I love the A-10. I've always loved the A-6. The A-6 is one. A lot of people are probably like, "Come on, what are you talking about? You're saying just a bunch of numbers." Let's see. Okay, so there's an F-16. I don't know the two in the middle. Okay, so top left, there's an F-22 in the back, F-16 in the front. I'm not sure what two there are there. There's an F-16, F-22, F-22, older planes. Oh, there's an A-10 in there. F-35 up top right. F-35 in the second one there. There's a bunch of secretive planes. Su-57. I was trying to find like maybe this will work. Okay, so there's the F-15, the F-16, F-4. F-4 was a kind of a cool plane. I like the A-4 too. I mean, holy crap. We could spend all night on that. It's up there. I'll just say that the F-16 is up there. It's not my favorite plane though. It never has been. I've always been more of a Navy. I like the F-14. I like the F-18. Those have always, and maybe that's just because I lived next to a naval air station, so I never saw a lot of those other planes. But come on, I mean, the F-16 is awesome. Yeah. Something about the movie rights. Warner Brothers can't release two Godzilla movies in the same year or something. I mean, that's probably right, but where? So Godzilla, who did the release of Godzilla -1? Was that Warner Brothers? If so, that's interesting. Let's see. Who had the distributor rights for Godzilla -1? I mean, it's a Toho movie, right? None of that is helping me. Who distributed Godzilla? Toho. It's always Toho. So yeah, maybe that has something to do with it. The thing is, with Japanese movies, it will have to sell there first since they want to avoid reverse importation. Happens with anime constantly. Comes out May 1st, 11,000 yen 4K, 9,000 yen Blu-ray, 1,500, wait, 15,620 yen for a 4-disc version, but that's August 31st. Uh, so interesting. Interesting. Game Dave just replied he has never played Final Fantasy 14. Isn't that the online one? Then what the hell was he playing on stream? Interesting. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. So it's probably Final Fantasy 11. Okay, okay. Well, see, I'm an idiot then. Which everybody knows that. Rob the idiot. I'm an idiot. So it's okay. Uh yeah, the F-35 is really really nice. Um the coolest thing for me was, I've gone to air shows my whole life, right? I lived very close to a naval air station in Grand Prairie, and they were always flying around F-14s, F-18s. It was great. Growing up that way and going out and just seeing them land and take off, do their touch and go landings, because you know a lot of F-14s and F-18s ended up on aircraft carriers, right? So you were watching them practice. It was awesome. When I first saw the F-22, it broke my brain a little bit, because the F-22 does things that don't match traditional flying. I mean, like it can, go really slow, like at an angle like this, and it's just hovering like this. And then there's times when it would go into a stall, and a stall is a bad thing in a jet, but not for the F-22, because it can do all kinds of weird stuff. It can go up and just fall backwards and do all kinds of weird stuff. It's I highly highly recommend you watching a demonstration of the F-22. It's crazy. It doesn't look like it should work. Like it shouldn't work, but somehow it does. It's amazing. But anyway, SR-71 ain't a fighter, but what if that was in consideration too? I mean, okay, SR-71 is an amazing looking aircraft, and I did show you pictures, I believe, when I was in Florida. Uh, not 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 this last year, but the year before, and I got to actually touch an SR-71 for the first time in my life. I'd never seen one fly, never laid eyes on one. So to see one for me was an amazing experience for me. Let me see. Because we were at right next to we were at the Air Force Armament Museum, which is very close to Eglin Air Force Base. Which, if you're into the UFO stuff, Eglin Air Force Base has come up a few times. But yeah, let me see. I mean, just look at that thing. That is freaking amazing looking. I love that plane. And I remember when I kind of freaked out because Jay was driving. We were taking Yoshi to the airport, but we had time to kill. And we drove by, and I'm like, holy crap, it's an SR-71 at the Armament Museum. And Jay just pulled off the road. And Yoshi was like, let's go look at it. And I was freaking out. And Jay was like, dude, I had no idea you were so into this stuff. And I'm like, dude, yeah, man, I love it. I mean, just let's see. The way that look at that. The way how thin it is, it's so cool. It's such a cool plane. And like I said, I never got to see one in person. So pretty damn cool. I don't know if it's in my, I don't know. It'd probably be in my top 3, you know? F-14 Tomcat, 1940s Corsair, 1960s Corsair, Stuka, P-51 Mustang, A-10 Warthog, 262 Messerschmitt are my favorite planes. There you go. I know some of those. And like the F4U, I know that one. And that one was always one of my favorite. Of course, the P-51 looks, it's iconic. The other ones, I'm not sure. Like 262, like I don't know the difference between the 40s and 60s Corsair. The Stuka, not sure. 262 Messerschmitt, not sure. Have I seen Toy Soldiers? Is that the one with Sean? Why am I blanking on his name? Sean? I can't believe I'm going blank on his name. Sean Astin. Jeez. Will Wheaton, Louis Gossett Jr. No, I have not seen that. I never saw that one. For some reason, that one always slipped past me. I never watched it. So is it like, oh, when Terra sees control of their boarding school? Okay, so it's very Red Dawn, except it's interesting. No, I never saw that one. And there's Keith Coogan. No. I never saw it. Yeah. Physics Hold My Beer, F-22. Yeah. B-52. The B-52 is iconic. And man, I'd seen that one plenty of times, but then I got to see one fly. It looks wrong. It's so big. And it's kind of awesome to watch it fly. Billy was almost a jet pilot from what I hear. That's right. That's right. Have I seen him twerk? Fighter pilot with those skills. Macross Plus. No, I've not seen that one. Billy graduated top dumb. Small Soldiers is Kirsten Dunst and David Spade. Never saw that one either. I think at one point I owned that movie. Never watched it. It's chappy. It's definitely chappy. It's definitely chappy. But look, I mean, we've got 15 votes. I don't think it's going to change. But banana butterscotch custard has gotten such a lead that I think we ought to just go ahead and do the thing, you know? We ought to go ahead and do the thing. So, I'm going to end the poll. Banana butterscotch custard has won. Now, I've got some of the stuff in here that I need, but I still need to I have to get the nicotine out of the fridge. So, here's what we're going to do. Got my PG and I got my VG. I need the nicotine. So, give me, let's see, hold on. I got to go over here. There it is. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to move it here. I think. Yeah, let's put it right here. And by the way, Bucho put in some some topics that he would he asked me and he thought they would make some fun topics for the show. I agree with him. So stay tuned for that for sure. We've got some news to get through. And then but first, let me go grab that nicotine. So hold on. I'll be right back. Okay? Be right back. Oh, hi. Sorry. Sorry. I have not seen The Principal, Abraham. I'm not even sure what that one is. Is that another Lou Gossett Jr. movie? Let me see. Hold on. Principal movie. 1987 action thriller film starring Jim Belushi, Louis Gossett Jr., and Ray Don Chong. No, I never saw that one. Jim Belushi. Yeah, no, I just never saw it. I just never saw it. With this elevator music, it makes me think I'm at work. Are you going up or down? Well, I mean, it's kind of what do you call it? A thing. All right, let me open this sucker up. Where's my? There it is. You have to have a little thing to get in here to open up this this lid. Because otherwise, these are almost impossible to get into once they're snapped down. In fact, I'm having trouble getting the leverage. There we go. A lot of snaps. A lot of snaps, Snaps a lot. Ooh, smells good. Okay, first up, Nick O'Teen. Make sure you shake it up because, I don't know. And we've definitely got to do the eye contact when we get to there. When we get there, so everybody get ready because it's going to happen. Okay. Where did I put the stuff? Nicotine, 3.73. All right. Here we go. Pardon me for a minute while I'm doing this. It takes, I would say concentration, but you got to be paying attention, You don't want to make it too Nick heavy. You know what I'm saying? You want to make it right. 3.27, 3.47. 3.71. All right. 3.73 on the nose. Okay. PG. Propylene glycol. Okay. Propylene glycol. 2.49, which is not much. Oops, excuse me. I hate it when it drips like that. Quit dripping, you freak. Uh-oh. 2.51. I went 2/100ths of a gram over. Damn it. I hate that. Now, vegetable glycerin, which is very thick. 17.66 grams. So, can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. There we go. 17.69. Oh man, it's going to be so diluted. You can't tell. You can't tell. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to close this up. We snap it down. Yeah, you heard that? Heck yeah. Scale off. VG and PG off to the side. Real quick, I'll be right back. I'm just going to throw this in the fridge. Be right back. I'll be back. Okay. We ready? All right. Banana butterscotch custard, you guys. Banana butterscotch custard, and you got to shake. You got to shake this up. It's got to mix. It's got to mix well. And you need to make eye contact. And you just got to make sure it's mixed. That's all. That's really all of it is. You just want to make sure it looks good. Looks good in there. I just saw my face in the replay. It's not pretty. Not pretty. But yeah, you definitely want to mix. Okay. I think we're good. You think we're good? I think we're good. Nick O'Teen, friends with alcohol. Exactly. Good old Nick, Good old Nick. But yeah, it's a pretty simple process. But again, I don't understand how some of these other countries think, you know what I think is a really good idea? We ought to leave the mixing to the consumer. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. But there you go. This is good and mixed. So it's ready to go in here, which is an RDA rebuildable dripping atomizer. All right. So again, it smells really good. It's time for the nuck. Okay. Just a drop. Let's not get crazy here. Just a drop. Ooh. Ooh. That is rich. That is really good. So, what do we have? Okay. We don't have anything queued up. So I think what we'll do is, I got to turn this on. Okay. On. Put a little liquid on top. Just a little liquid. There we go. Vapors are happening. I mean, it smells awesome. Okay? It smells awesome, you guys. So I'm pretty sure that this is going to be really good. I've had many different banana flavors. This is kind of awesome. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put this lid on top, line it up. Okay. Then let's find something to listen to, shall we? How about an old, let's see. Can we open in Finder? Open how? Just like that. Let's see. Is there a song that you guys haven't heard before? You know what? We're going to play. This is one of the first songs that I ever wrote on that keyboard. The Roland XP50, however you're supposed to pronounce it. I don't know. Okay. But this is one of the first songs I wrote, and I put a drum beat behind it. But then I found out, you know what? It's actually better without the drum beat. So here we go. All right. This is an amazing song. It's called 2 version 6, because I never got around to actually naming the songs. But here we go. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my microphone so you can't hear. So all of a sudden it's just going to Okay, it just started over for some reason. Sorry about that. But Carbonite, you are, man, another day in paradise. What's funny is I didn't write it. I wasn't like, I love that song, okay? But I wasn't inspired by that song or anything. It just came out. And it was only like after I was finished with it, I was like, wow, that sounds a little like the chord structure of another day in paradise. So it was not intentional, but good ear, good ear. Yeah, I mean, you were pretty much at the end, but what happens is for some reason, these mice, for whatever reason, if you've got the fan going and you've just got it the way that I did, is I just opened it up in the little preview window, it'll think that you're trying to, like you're making a mouse movement. So sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a thing. It's not a bad song, but that's the second song that I wrote on the keyboard. And it was more of a I mean, I don't know if anybody cares, but why not? It's my show. I can talk about what I want. But anyway, the goal was, let's see if I can write an entire song with one sound. And it was this harp sound with the delay stuff on it. Then, this delay on it. And I just said, let's screw it. Let's do it. And I actually tried writing it and changing the song with other instruments, with an actual bass line, with an actual, it just didn't work. It didn't work as well as that version. And I really like it. It's one of my favorite ones, except for, I don't know if you heard it, but it still irks me to this day that I never fixed those two mess ups. Because what I was doing is you're basically taking a 16 measure, I think it's 16 measures, and I would loop that, and then I would write a melody on top of it, and then if necessary write another melody on top of that, or another bit of whatever on top of it. And on one of those takes I messed up, and I had a little miskey, and it's like boom, and it doesn't sound right. I don't know, but it sounds wrong, and I never fixed it, and I never went back to fix it. But there you go. That's 2 version 6, which meant that's the 6th version of that song, or iteration. I'm more like, because it's like the first iteration is just like the first, probably just the bass BASE chords, and then the next one is layering and layering and layering, changing things, moving things around. But yeah, that's how I would do it. Play it again. Well, I mean, I don't know if we need to play it again, but yeah, it's an interesting. Here, I'll play you parts of it. So like, there's the bass, BASE, right? So, wait a minute. So that's your chorus. So what I did was I played one, and this is something that you can't, it sucks that I can't go back and do like a longer version of that song, because there's two, the melody is, there's one that's on a lower register and one that's playing basically an octave above. And for some reason, the lower octave, there are certain moments where I play things just slightly differently than the top part, and it makes for a really cool thing. And that's like oops. I was playing different things, and it made for a really cool. So there's a mid-range melody and a top-range melody. Anyway, there you go. It's pretty fun. Have Billy put his sweet vocals on it. Sounds real good. It would be interesting to have vocals put on that, like as a special edition. I don't know. Top 5 Friday. Well, I was thinking more like, um, I don't know what that song could be about. I mean, but that's the thing, you know, you'd have to work with the genius that is Billy's brain to see what he could come up with to lay a track on top of that. But anyway, I like it because I guess the first chorus is very similar. The mid register and the higher register of the harp are playing pretty much the same thing. But in the next one, it has some changes. And then when it repeats the chorus, that's when they go off and do their own thing. And I would love to say that it was a plan, you know, that I planned it all, but it's like I can pick out exactly what I was playing on the lower register versus the higher register, but it might just sound like I don't know. There's probably people, you know, that are very, very talented musicians that would be able to do that and go, yeah, I saw exactly what you did. But, you know, it's kind of cool. Now I think that's enough, Abraham. We need to move on. Need to move on to the next thing. But I will tell you this. This is awesome. This is really, really good. The weird thing is I don't get like a strong butterscotch. Like to me, butterscotch, I think of Werther's, right? Um, that's kind of what I think, you know, or a butterscotch candy. It doesn't taste like that. It tastes more like a caramel. But it's the banana is a it's like a fresh, there's a mixture of bananas here. There's a fresh banana thing going on, and then there's like an undertone of like a candied banana, almost like a Laffy Taffy. It makes for a really nice mix, and it is just good. Good. It's this is one I will definitely buy again. Uh the last one that we tried last week or 2 weeks ago is good, but it's not this good. This one is really, really nice. Really, really nice. I like this one a lot. But I can also tell you that this might be one of those things where I might get tired of it after a while because the banana flavor is very strong. So it might be one of those where it's like I vape it a few times, then I go, okay, let's have something different. You know, this is the one. No, this is a different one. This is the uncommon. But hey, made it to the best live stream on YouTube. Well, Filbert, hi, how's it going? Thank you. And you got Billy over here. So Billy thinks that the song is about ass eating next to a waterfall as the morning sun caresses your back. Then after you swim with dolphins, then eat their ass. I mean, you know, that's it, you know? I mean, how can you argue with that? Wow, that's a strange one. But hey, let's get into some of the news. What say you? What say you? By the way, thank you. Very good. Very good choice, guys. Banana, butterscotch, custard. A little bit of vanilla. Oh, by the way, I will say this. I've been trying to get better at working out. It's a challenge, right? It's a challenge, but I will say that I took a little bit of a break because of the birthday. And yesterday, I had the new Bluebell flavor of ice cream called Gooey Butter Cake. Gooey Butter Cake. Man, that was rich. It was really rich. I would say try it, but I can't. No, it was way too rich for me. Way too rich. I also tried the churro Oreos, and those tasted gross to me. Like I thought they were gross. I had two, and I think I'm going to throw away the package. They're still in there. I just haven't eaten anymore. But there you go. But someone said something. Rufus, you said a little Japanese twang, maybe a little bit. Carbonite, maybe. Yasunori Matsuda. I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, it's what's funny about some of the music that I made is that I heard not like somebody stole it, but like, wow, that person was on the same wavelength as what I was writing, and it was in a lot of like video game uh commercials and music from the early 2000s, which was really strange to hear that and kind of go, wow, this probably would fit in with, some of these games or whatever. But yeah, there you go. Just sitting on a hard drive. Dolphins are intelligent animals, smart enough to eat ass. I mean, maybe. Yasunori Mitsuda ain't got no time for dolphin sex. Wish you had Bluebell near you? Well, I mean, you have no one to blame but yourself, Carbonite. I don't know. But hey, you got Blue Bunny, don't you? Get yourself some bunny tracks. That's one of my favorite, seriously, one of my favorite ice creams, period. I love it. It's perfect. Chocolate covered peanuts, chocolate swirl, caramel. I'm done. That's all I need. In vanilla ice cream? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's great. Great stuff. But let's get into some news. So, in a couple of weeks, we're going to see the premiere of Civil War, directed by Alex Garland, who did Annihilation. He didn't he do Ex Machina? And I mean, the guy's made some interesting movies. Well, he says that he's retiring. And I thought this was early. Like, I saw it on April 1st, so I thought, oh, of course, this is an April Fool's thing. But apparently not. He says nothing's changed. I'm in a very similar state. I'm not planning to direct again in the foreseeable future. He's fallen out of love with filmmaking. I do actually love film, but filmmaking doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists in a life and also in a broader context. I have to interact in a way without being rude. Apparently, he's more of a writer. He's just more of a writer, and that's what he loves doing. And when you write, you don't have to worry about how you're going to film it or anything like that. He was talking about Alicia, and he says, or on Ex Machina, where Alicia and Sonoya are trusting that nudity is going to be dealt with thoughtfully and respectfully when cinema leans towards not doing that. I guess maybe he's like, I don't want to mess with that part of the creative process. I just want to write. So apparently he's got a movie coming out, another A24 project titled Warfare, where he is co-directing with Ray Mendoza. I'm not sure. He's a first-time filmmaker, and Alex is basically going to be helping him along with the process. But look, I guess this is, I guess this is true, that he's going to do it. He's done after Civil War. So I guess we'll see. I'm still really interested in seeing Civil War. I still feel like it's a little, man, it's very close to home, that there's some people here in Texas that would definitely act exactly the way some of the people that I've seen in the trailers act. So we'll see. But I just thought that was interesting, and I thought we could talk about it. Worldofreal.com is where that was. And of course he was, apparently the original article was on The Guardian. But yeah. TL, I saw you. Hi. But yeah, we're just talking about dolphins and stuff. Sounded more like Ryuichi Sakamoto was also in a band, Yellow Magic Orchestra. Not sure about that. I discovered I have an oven after 5 years. I've eaten frozen pizza every night since. I truly suck at adulting. Hey, it's just like, most people have an oven and a stovetop or whatever, and a lot of people use nothing but the microwave. It's a thing. But yeah, directors burn out sometimes and go the writer and or producer route. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's gonna be what he does, and I think he's pretty brilliant. You know, his stories, even though some of them don't really connect with me, like Ex Machina was interesting, but didn't really like it didn't like grab hold of me and not let go. Annihilation, really interesting, but another one where I was kind of like, didn't quite work for me, but I liked it. I own it digitally. Oh no. But yeah, so yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. And I guess we'll see how things go from there. Have a little bit more banana. Wow. Wow. That is definitely some banana there. But hey, anybody up for some physical media news? I thought this was interesting. Saw this and wanted to talk about it. Guillermo del Toro teases upcoming 4K releases of Chronos, Mimic, Blade 2, and Crimson Peak. Here's the thing. The only one that I'm even remotely interested in is Blade 2. I saw Mimic, not a fan. Saw Chronos, not a fan. Didn't see Crimson Peak. But hey, if you want 4K from Guillermo del Toro, I say yeah, let's do it. And here's the thing too. He is as much of a freaking fan of film and geek stuff as I am and as we are, like most of us here. Man, I think this is really good news. This is really cool news, and I don't know. I just like Guillermo del Toro. I mean, of course, he worked with uh, Hideo. What's his last name? Death Stranding. Why can't I think of his last name? And what's even more interesting is if you were on the Discord, Kojima, yes, Hideo Kojima. Jeez. If you were on if you're on our Discord, the Order 42 Discord, I posted an article where Trent Reznor was talking with David Dasmalchian about his process as an actor and all that. And they're apparently good friends, which is like mind blown kind of thing. It's like, wow, two people I really like. I've always been like strangely drawn to David Dasmalchian as an actor. I don't know why. He always sticks out in a movie. And I never could figure out why. Maybe this is it because he's got a connection to my favorite musician, maybe of all time, Trent Reznor, you know? So anyway, Trent was talking about wanting to go the storytelling route in this article. And there was a recent picture with Hideo Kojima, Trent Reznor, and Atticus Ross. And it made me go, what? Like, that's awesome. Let me see if I can find it. Hideo, Trent. Yeah. Yeah. Could this mean anything? I don't know. But I gotta say, whether you love Hideo Kojima stuff or you can't stand it, you cannot argue that the guy is visionary. He's a visionary, visually striking stuff. I want to know what's going on here. Why the hell are they meeting? And why wasn't I invited? You know? I mean, call me, Trent, you know? We already went to Target together one time. Call me. Did I ever tell that story? I don't even know if I did. Okay, so I had a dream that I'm hanging out with Trent Reznor and he's like, "Hey, I gotta run to the store. You want to come with?" And I'm like, "Sure." So we go up to Target and it's literally just nothing strange. It's not like we're buying goth shit. You know, it's not like we're buying anything weird. We're buying regular groceries, but instead of my wife or anybody else, it's Trent Reznor, and we just went to Target. And that was the whole dream. So I said, so what I did is, this was, I mean, years ago. I tweeted at Trent Reznor and I said, "Hey, Trent, I had a dream that you and I went to Target, and I just thought that was strange or something like that." But no, no, I didn't say that. I said, "Hey, Trent, I had a dream where you and I went to Target. You're weird, dude." And I like blamed it on him, like he was the reason. I never got a response, but there you go. So there you go. You really like Pacific Rim? Pacific Rim is one of those that I remember kind of liking, but I need to watch it again. That's one of those where I definitely need to watch that one again. A vinyl pressing of a set of tracks featuring Billy's lyrics and vocals over Rob's instrumentals could raise big money for the next project. I'm just saying. Bucho? I mean, you never know. Didn't bother watching the sequel. Yeah, I heard the sequel was pretty bad, but I never watched it either. And Wraith, welcome. Good to see you. Good to see you. You want Blade 2 and Crimson Peak, Shozama? We'll do it. Do it. I'm sure it's gonna come out at some point. So, it says he's finished with 3 of them, so there you go. In my opinion, we need more physical media. I don't like the whole streaming services thing, but I gotta, because there's so many movies and shows that are exclusive to them. Yeah, and that's part of the issue, That's one of the things that I want to talk about in a video is, there are just some movies that you can't find Blu-rays of, but you may be able to find DVDs. So that's an interesting thing. And I don't think if something is only available on DVD and nothing else, like no streaming, no Blu-rays, it's still worth buying the DVD. I still think it's worth it because this day and age, the technology, the DVDs look, of course they don't look as sharp as a Blu-ray or a 4K, but it's completely watchable. So don't discount DVDs completely and just no, I'm not doing that. You should do it. So there you go. Snatcher, Police Knots, and MGS are goated. Death Stranding, I'm having a hard time with. Well, and yeah, it's just a weird story. But I watched a full playthrough of it because I thought, okay, I'm interested in the story. I don't care about playing this game. So I watched a playthrough of it, and yeah, good stuff. I enjoyed the story. It's a goofy game, but it's a cool story. My buddy is friends with Trent's old drummer. Which one? You talking about Josh Freese? You talking about oh, I'm going blank on the name. I could see his face. Hmm. Yeah, who? Anyway. There's more than 8 people chatting, so who didn't like the stream? Don't forget it helps old Roberto here a ton when we like his videos. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're talking about Kadeo Hojima? He was kidding. Christian, the internet is full of people who just like to watch the world burn. So there you go. Can be a concept album. It's about a clown from the future who is thrown back in time for a mission to eat as much ass as possible in order to stop a robot uprising. Billy, I think we're onto something here. It can be called Time Trek, Butt of the Joke. And maybe we can contact William Shatner and he can do a guest, almost like, okay, think Thriller, right? Where Vincent Price does that little, that sort of spoken word thing at the end of Thriller. We could have William Shatner do a spoken word thing over the music. Why not? Oh, are you saying that he blocked you on Twitter? Okay, well, maybe we can still do it. Anyway, here's the article, The Rumors with Hideo Kojima. I linked in general movie chat. Thank you, Shozama. Thank you. I will look at that after the stream. I don't know which one lives in Michigan. I have no idea. What's Chris Verena. I just came up with the name. These are the Jerome Dillon wasn't. Ron Musara, I don't know. Trent looks like such a dad there. Looks like a dad. But yeah, Josh Freese and Chris Vrenna were the ones that were drummers the longest. And then of course now uh he's the young guy. Um Elon Rubin. Yeah. He's a younger guy, but he is awesome. So awesome. But yeah, Chris Vrenna, Richard Patrick, who quit Nine Inch Nails to go form Filter, the movie Filter, or the band Filter, which is funny because the first name for my band back in the day, I wanted to name it Filter, and then Filter came out with their songs, and I was like, damn it. And then I was like, it's Richard Patrick. Oh, well, I can't really be mad at that. So there you go. I remember Story Melvor saying he went to see Pearl Jam and Dennis Rodman showed up on stage. Interesting. Christopher Lee would do that for metal bands? Okay, that's awesome. Abraham. Well, we've moved on, man. We're not gonna we're not gonna play the song again. We are not gonna play the song again. But I really appreciate that. It's cool that I mean people seem to like the music, but that's not what we're here for. And we don't have any more liquids to taste tonight. So, you know, there you go. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this. Interesting. Film preservationist Robert Harris defends controversial James Cameron 4K restorations of Aliens, The Abyss, and True Lies. Now, over on the Discord, I recently posted a talk between Steven Spielberg and Denis. For some reason, I just had Dennis in my head. Denis Villeneuve talking about Dune Part 2. And Steven Spielberg is actually like gushing over Dune Part 2, which was kind of cool to see. And seeing Denis Villeneuve's like reaction to that, because of course he looks up to Steven Spielberg. So it's kind of like one of like you making a movie and then one of the masters telling you that you did a good job. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? But in that conversation, Steven Spielberg is talking about how in the late 80s, they were able to find some archival material of Lawrence of Arabia, parts of the movie that was cut out originally, and they found it in a what was it? It was like anyway. They found this footage, and along with Robert Harris, Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese basically went to the studio and said, "Hey, you've got to put this in, and give Robert Harris the money to put this back into the movie, and we can re-release it, and you can do whatever." So that's the current copy of Lawrence of Arabia that's out there is due to the work of Robert Harris and of course Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese finding this. I don't know how they found this extra footage, but it was a cool story, and I thought that was neat. Anyway, this came up. This came up the other day. And this is what it says. Noted film preservationist Robert Harris, the man behind the famous restorations of Lawrence of Arabia, Spartacus, the Godfather trilogy, and many more, in a post to the Home Theater Forum, he acknowledged how different they look, the three 4K restorations of True Lies, The Abyss, and Aliens, but also explained that's not necessarily a bad thing. On True Lies, shot 35, blown up to 70, the visuals of the new 4K UHD are absolutely not what the film was upon release, but the secret sauce works and allows a presentation that appears far better than it might without it. In a post about Aliens, he elaborated a bit more on why these restorations have his approval. Original prints were on the grainy side, as a higher speed stock was used. I always thought it looked fine, as that was the look, no problem. But there were those who felt that it was too grainy. Enter the new 4K UHD from Disney via Fox, and it has an entirely new look. And it's a look that I like very much. The image has been degrained with zero loss of resolution, which, if anything, has been slightly heightened. Colors are meticulously reproduced, and there's an overall clarity that is new to the film. As far as Harris is concerned, these restorations have been done the right way, and there's a lot of logic behind what he says. Cameron always favored shooting his film in a process called Super 35, as it allowed him to print a larger film frame on the stock that would make the home video releases look better. In True Lies or Titanic, he was able to show the films in 2:35:1 scope theatrically, But then when reformatted to 133:1 for a 4:3, home video release, the standard TV ratio in the era before widescreen TVs, he could reveal more of the frame at the top and bottom, avoided the pan and scan look common at the time, making the films play better at VHS. The downside was that Super 35 was grainy. This wasn't super noticeable on DVD and even 1080p Blu-rays, but it proved problematic on 4K, hence the restoration. I thought that was kind of neat, and it kind of explains the thought process of why James Cameron would do what he did to remove the grain. It's not just an aesthetic choice. It's actually the reason that he shot it the way it did was because he wanted it to look better on home video. So he could open up the frame instead of that weird digital, I don't know if you've seen that before, but that weird digital pan that happens in some movies, of the time, especially the mid to late 90s. There was a lot of that, and it was kind of annoying. So it's one of those things that I thought was kind of an interesting thing. And yeah, so in defense of the degrained versions, there you go. But I will also say that two people that I really respect, Robert Meyer Burnett and Dietrich, I'm blanking on his last name, over at Let's Get Physical Media. They do a live show every Sunday talking about physical media releases and stuff. Both of them love the new releases. I think Robert Meyer Burnett only got Alien so far, and he loved it, and he thought it looks great. So it's one of those interesting things that, yeah, they still just took a 1080p render and upscaled it instead of a new 4K scan. That's just Disney being cheap and lazy. But Billy, have you seen it yet? Have you seen it yet? Because it looks great. It looks really, really good. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that look at like still frames and go insane about that. But I'm just saying, I think it's cool. I think it's great, and I think it looks great. I don't know. Game Dave, how is it going, sir? Good to see you. So there you go. Shut up. But it's good to see you. By the way, I was just about to talk about Ghostbusters. But here's the thing. I think that all of those releases, if you don't have them in a format higher than DVD, even if you have the Aliens Blu-ray, which I have the Aliens Blu-ray, I have the Aliens 4K, I have the best of both worlds, I got them both. So I can watch whichever one I want to watch. It's always going to be the 4K, by the way. But anyway, yeah, I think they look great. So I don't know what to tell you. I understand what you're saying, but they look good. So yeah. Kino Lorber is having a hell of a sale. Yes, they are. And I purchased 2 movies that will be here on Thursday. So yeah, a pretty damn good sale. So absolutely. Nvidia bought Xbox from Microsoft and nobody is talking about it. What? No, they didn't. Are you sure that's not a leftover April Fool's joke? Whoever can find the original Cleopatra from the 20s would be a millionaire. It was one of the movies that was lost in a big fire back then. There's no known copies of the movie. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. That's one of the other things that kind of scares me, is knowing that some of these DVDs that I have on my shelf are already starting to rot. And that, I don't know. I thought, oh man, being on a disc, as long as you keep it clean, as long as you don't scratch it, it's gonna play for 100 years. It'll play longer than I'm alive. But there you go. But look, here's the thing, Dave. I had a lot of fun the other night on Game Dave stream. If you didn't see it, I mentioned it earlier, but Dave, it was fun. It was fun, Dave. And I think we should do it again. The only thing that I will say is that I felt a little awkward when I couldn't hear what was going on. But I've gotten some really good feedback. You know, people seem to like it. There was too much Dave, needed more Rob. Oh, Filbert, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, it was a good time, and it was a good talk, and I feel like people were enjoying it. So it's good. It's good to see. Good to see. But what I want to say, we got to pump more of the sound to see into your ears. Well, I mean, I think it's just because I don't know how you would have done it, because then you would have had to basically send the game to me somehow, and I don't. Jerome Dillon. Okay, well there you go. But yeah, it just because I felt like I was more reacting to you, because I'm like, I don't know, like the stuff that you're talking about is like 5 seconds behind what I can see. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to wear headphones like an idiot. Well, I don't know. What there was something else I wanted to. Oh, and man, I watched the replay, and man, my joke at the beginning, it was kind of lost, because I'm sitting here, because as soon as you switched over to me, I got 2 copies of Dave talking, and it was like, I got to fix that. So I'm sitting there trying to mute one side of it so I can hear one side of it. And then I'm like, oh, I'm on. And I start doing the thing. I don't know. It kind of bugged me. Because I was like, man, but anyway, it's okay. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. But what I wanted to say to you is I had a lot of fun, and I apologize that I hadn't actually said soundussy. I need you to say soundussy correctly. I'm not sure what that means. Xbox and video stuff got posted on the 31st, so it could be early April Fools or time zones, but I'm seeing it all over. I don't know what that means. Soundussy, I have no idea what that is. Even with the non-optimal tech conditions, it was still a blast because you two sons of guns have ace buddy chemistry. Well, I mean, we actually happen to like each other, which is, I know, it's a little strange. Like, how could someone like Dave like someone like me? Because I'm just this guy, you know. Dave is like, whoa, look at him with all the quick wit stuff coming out of his face. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I modded Baldur's Gate 3, and now the boobs are too big. You know what? We're actually going to talk about boobs here in a little bit. I mean, I'm just saying, we gotta. But look, this is what I wanted to talk about. Is this weekend, Godzilla X Kong destroyed the box office. They were saying that it was going to be 50 to 55 million, right? 50 to 55 million that was their projections for the opening weekend here in the United States. It made 80. Just a little over 80. Now, I will say that Doom 2 was 82 and a half when it came out. But regardless, remember what I was saying? I said this on Game Dave stream, and I've said it here. I think I've said it here before. The thing is, I am all for any movie, even the ones that are not for me, like Godzilla X Kong. Look, God bless you. If you like that movie, Godzilla bless you, because it's not for me. Because the last one, I thought my brain was going to fall out of my head. It's just not for me. But you know what? If you love those movies, I actually liked Kong Skull Island. But this one, the last one, I was like, this is so bad. And from what I hear, the story of this movie is even worse. And I know, Rob, you're going to see a giant lizard and a giant monkey beat the crap out of each other. What the hell are you complaining about? I'm just saying from my perspective, it's just not for me. It's not my kind of movie. It's fine. But I am really, really happy for those of you who went and watched it and loved it. I'm so happy that you enjoyed it. And I'm really happy that the theaters have had a killer March. I mean, think about it. You had Kung Fu Panda 4. You had Dune Part 2. You had Godzilla X Kong. You had Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, which came in third place this weekend. It dropped 65% from its opening weekend. So, I mean, look, I love Dave. You know, Dave is a big fan of the Ghostbusters, but yeah, that's a rough second weekend. And I don't think Dune Part 2 has dropped lower than 40% every week, right? Which is why it's up to 630 million, I think, worldwide. I think it's 200 and I'm not sure what it's at now uh in the US. But all I'm saying is, as I've said before, I'm just here because I love movies and I love that people are going to see movies in the theater where they should be. Because hey, I love it. I love the movies. Godzilla minus one was amazing. Oh, I know. I want to see it. We were talking about that earlier before you got here because you're late. You're here for the Tatas? Oh, well, we'll talk about the Tatas here in a minute. Totally just messaged my friend I haven't talked to in like 2 years to ask that, just realizing how crazy that is. Hey, that's the way it goes sometimes, you know? And that's very cool. I don't know if I ever saw, because I think I saw Josh Freese, and then the next time I saw Nine Inch Nails, it was Ilan Rubin. But yeah, Warner Brothers and Legendary making money again. And look, I can't be mad about that. You know, I have to be happy. Even though I'm not a big Godzilla X Kong fan, I'm happy that the theaters are making money again. And look, Legendary's killing it. 2 movies in the same month, just destroying the box office. That's good news. That is good news. Now, really quick, before we get into the booby talk, because there is booby talk coming, booby and booty talk. It's coming. But I do want to mention a few things that I've been watching and a few things that I think that people should be checking out because yeah. First up, I've mentioned it, the 3-Body Problem is really good. I really enjoyed this show. I know there's some people here that weren't a fan, but I will say that I really enjoyed it. The first episode ended and I'm kind of like, okay, this ain't bad. I mean, it's very different than the book, but it's not bad. It's not bad. But then the second episode, by the end, I was like, I need to see this. I need to watch the rest of it. And I did, and I really enjoyed it. So I would highly recommend the 3-Body Problem over on Netflix if you have the ability to watch it. I would absolutely recommend it. Next up is one that I put off because I saw the movie and I wasn't like the biggest fan. And that is The Gentleman. Now, to answer your question, Shozama, I have not seen the 10-cent version of 3-Body Problem. I hear that it's closer to the book, but that overall, most people prefer the Netflix version to the 10-cent version because the 10-cent version doesn't go into a lot of detail about things that make China look bad. So, yeah. So there were things that they took out that it doesn't work. But The Gentleman, I'll just say this. I'm not going to say that I called it with Theo James, but I always thought Theo James had charisma, and I always thought Theo James was worth more than some of the roles that were given to him. I will say this. Dude's a star. And he should be in more things because he was great in this. Great. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the movie, but this show is great. I flew through it and basically didn't watch anything else. But this is one of the things I watched this weekend and I really enjoyed it. So, yes, I recommend it. I recommend it. Now, another one that I've been sleeping on, that's Masters of the Air. I've only watched the first 2 episodes so far, but it's pretty good. It doesn't have the umph of Band of Brothers does. And the Pacific was one that I don't I can't even tell you if I finished it. I can't even tell you if I finished the Pacific. I can't remember it. But I've seen Band of Brothers multiple times because it's such a good. I mean, talk about, we talk about heart. We talk about things like good character acting and all that kind of stuff. Masters of the Air feels a little distant in comparison, but I still like it. That's over on Apple TV Plus. If you're nasty. So, and then weekly, we're talking about some weekly shows that haven't wrapped up, but I have been watching every single week. First up, Shogun. If you're not watching Shogun, I mean, I would say watch Shogun because wow, this show is really, really well done. I really, really like it. And I mean, everybody in it. And there's a lot of people that I don't know who they are. I've never seen them before, and they're fantastic. So, highly recommended Shogun. It's on Hulu, and of course, in America, Disney Plus is now, you can get the one app that has Disney Plus and Hulu on it, but it's, a little more expensive. There's actually some really good deals going on with the combination of the two. I'm not trying to push you to streaming, just talked about physical media, but the thing is, this is a good show and I really, really enjoy it. So there you go. There's that. And then something that isn't going to be wrapping up. I thought it was only going to be like 9 episodes. Apparently it's going all the way up until the day of, was it 4 days before May the 4th, maybe 3 days. But that's the Bad Batch. Look, if you haven't been watching the Bad Batch, I get it. I understand it. Star Wars is a sore subject for a lot of people, but I love the Clone Wars. Okay. I love that series. Bucho and I, we have talked about it many times. We did a podcast going over each and every episode of the Clone Wars. Why is this not working? Whoa, that was strange. There we go. We did a podcast going over every episode of the Clone Wars. I love it. The Bad Batch is basically an offshoot of the Clone Wars. It's great. It's great. And this season, there's some really interesting things happening. So I'm really digging it. So there you go. That's what I've been watching and kind of what I've caught up on and all that sort of thing. So there you go. So yeah, what have you guys been watching? Has there been anything that you're like, oh hell yeah, you need to be watching this or whatever? Anybody having some thoughts on those things, or did I put everybody to sleep? Because if I put people to sleep, well, that's not the point of the show. The point is, I need to hear from you. I want to know. I want to know what's going on. Give me just a second here while I fix something. Where is it? Where? There. Nope, that's not it. Wait. There it is. There it is. Okay. It is all fixed. So, anybody watching? You've been rewatching The Office. I can't say anything bad about that. I love The Office. I love it. In a rating from 1 to 10, how good is Shogun? I'm gonna say right now I'm feeling an 8.7 out of 10. Or I would say if you want the 4-star Robbie scale, really it's the Roger Ebert scale, I would give it a 3. I would give it a 3.5 out of 4. I mean, we'll see how it, that's look. Ending a season is hard. It'll be interesting to see if they can pull it off. But so far, I'm enjoying each and every episode. Like it's great. It's great stuff. So yeah, I would highly recommend it. And the thing is, this is one of those where if you have Hulu or Disney Plus or whatever, and you're not watching it, dude, just watch the first episode. Just give it a shot. If you don't like it, don't watch it. But I love it. I think it's great. I ask every client if they have been watching anything good. They all say no. I ask TikTok, they say yes, or they rewatch The Office or Grey's Anatomy. And that's the thing. One of the things that I keep seeing over and over again is that so many people don't watch new stuff. They just watch repeat, like, oh, I'm going to watch Seinfeld again. Okay. I'm going to watch Friends again. I'm going to watch The Office again. I'm going to watch Parks and Rec again. All of those things. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying there's some really good TV out there. And like I said, The Gentleman was one where I was not going to watch it. And I saw enough people talking about it that I'm like, okay, damn, all right, let me just give it a shot. And the first episode, I'm like, I'm in. I'm into this. It's Guy Ritchie. You know, if you like Guy Ritchie's style, you're going to like it. It's pretty fun. So, but yeah, Shogun is good stuff. Good stuff. Watching classic cinema, The Mark of Zorro was one I saw. Has a great sword fight. Yeah, we've talked about that many times. You will never hear a complaint from me about watching classic cinema because there's amazing movies. You know, going back 110 years, you know? There's so many movies that come out every single year. There's no reason to just get stuck watching the same thing over. I mean, if you want to watch the same thing over and over, I get it. I understand it, you know? But me, I like watching new stuff. When is that new Guy Ritchie coming out? You're talking about the extraordinary, what is it? Ungentlemanly, what is it? Ungentlemanly Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. That comes out April 19th. So just a couple of weeks. Is that the same? Okay, so Civil War comes out April 12th, which is next Friday. And then the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare comes out the following Friday. So, crap, I guess I'm going to have to watch both of those. Because I want to see it. Haven't been watching shows lately, just catching on films. I get that, Bucho. Been letting Bad Batch back up so I can binge it. I get that too. Because I got to tell you, Shogun is one of those where I immediately want to watch the next episode. So I get it. I understand it. But I was going to say, I'm rewatching Seinfeld. There you go. See? I comfort watch old Spider-Man, and X-Men animated from the 90s in the Secret World of Alex Mack and the Game Chasers. I mean, I don't think you're going to have anybody saying that's terrible. That's a terrible idea. It's good stuff. Was there a Mask of Zorro TV show, or am I crazy? I think there were some Zorro TV shows, but I don't think one based on the current. I mean, I said the more current. Oh, look at that. There's a TV series. It says TV series 2024 on Prime. I'm not going to show that because I wonder if they'll. Oh, it's a. Is this in Spanish? Because the names of the episodes are in Spanish. I mean, that doesn't mean anything, but that's pretty interesting. There you go. Doesn't 6.3 out of 10. Hey, so I don't know. But there you go. And not Gary. How's it going, sir? Good to see you. It's good to see you. But look, I promised it. I did. I promised it that we're gonna booby and booty talk. We got to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Anybody played the demo that came out on Friday of Stellar Blade? I'll let y'all catch up. Had a date with a MILF on Saturday and she sat me down to watch it. You don't have a PS5. Okay, well, I understand that, Wraith. I understand that. But yeah, Stellar Blade. I gotta say, I don't get it. Like, I don't get the fuss I don't understand. Because I'll tell you this, I played through every bit of the demo, and I played a little bit. What happens is, this isn't a spoiler. When you get to the end of the demo, there's a boss battle that was way too hard for me, and I was already up kind of late, and I said, screw it, I'm not playing anymore. And I just haven't gone back to it. A lot of people have said that it's what is it, Sekiro mixed with Nier, the Nier games, the Nier Automata games. There's it's heavily, it's very parry focused. So you have to parry to get things to happen and to cause more damage and all that kind of thing. I got to say, it's not really my kind of game. Not really my kind of game. But it was still addicting enough that I wanted to keep playing it. So it's a weird thing that it's like, this is not like, I watch people play Elden Ring and the Dark Souls games, and I go, no, that's not for me. That's not for me. But for some reason, I just wanted to keep playing. Part of it is the aesthetic. And I'm not talking about jiggly boobs and jiggly booty. Okay? Now, those things are there. If you like those things are there. And they're not subtle at all. But no, it's the aesthetic, the world, the way everything looks, the music. The music was fantastic. I really enjoyed my time playing this. Now, I don't know if for me, this guy, this person, me, I don't know if it's worth $70 to me. Because I can see myself playing it and getting frustrated and probably never going back to it. But if you're into those kinds of games, the sort of the parry system, it's really cool. It's a really cool game. So is it just a way to get people upset and have arguments so that the game gets more attention? I don't know. Because I don't know if you ever heard of Dragon's Crown. Yeah. That game has jiggle that puts this one to shame. When I played Dragon's Crown on the PS Vita back in the day. So I don't know. I don't know what everybody's complaining about. Is it literally just the internet being the internet? And oh, we're gonna take a side and we're gonna be angry about things? Because look, there's attractive people in this, attractive characters in this game. Yes. Do they jiggle almost a little too much? Probably. Are there outfits that make any sense in any sort of battle scenario? No, they don't make any sense. In fact, they're a little ridiculous. But the game is fun. So, why are people complaining? Why? I don't see Matt, I've been playing a little bit of Nier. Nier's cool. I had never played it before. But I enjoy it. I think it's pretty cool, and I'm waiting to get some time so I can really kind of get into it and have some fun with it. But I really like Nier. This is not, to me, when people said that this is a it's like Sekiro and Nier put together, I'm kind of like, I don't see that. Well, at least not the Nier part. Because to me, and maybe it's because I haven't gotten far enough into Nier. I don't know. But this is much more like what I saw when I watched people play Bloodborne or Dark Souls, where it's very parry based. You know? I don't know. I don't know. Nier Automata has a god tier soundtrack. It is pretty good from what I've heard so far. And again, Stellar Blade. At first, I'm like, this is a weird choice. This music with the lyrics and all that, but I gotta say, I was digging it. And when it would cut out for something else, you know what I mean, like a little cutscene or oh, you found a rest area so that the music changes, I was a little upset. I was like, oh man, I like listening to that. So I don't know, man. I don't know. So has anybody played it? I mean, it looks like Ricky played it. Do you see this as like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, is this a big deal or is it not a big deal? Is this just the internet wanting to get angry about things? Because it seems like everybody, it's like, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Stellar Blade, whether it's Star Wars, whether it's whatever, politics, everything is, it's either you're way over here or you're way over here. Nobody is in the middle kind of going, hey, I kind of like it's not bad. You know, like me with The Last Jedi, I had people, oh, it's the best thing since Empire. And then over here, oh, it's the worst Star Wars movie ever. And it might be the worst movie ever. And I'm over here going, I like some things in it. There's some things that aren't great, but it's not that bad. Everybody's yelling at each other. And is that just what people do these days? And that's, I feel really strange about it. Like, it seems like ever since I got out of the hospital and got back to life, it feels like I'm like a different species. Like, I feel like people are just really unhappy, you know? And all they want to do is complain. Is anybody even still here? Am I just ranting to no one? But Stellar Blade is just the latest in the, oh, I like this. Oh, well, you're a pervert. I don't think that's how it works. I think you can like a game and not care whether boobs jiggle. And isn't it, I mean, let's be honest. If a woman was wearing an outfit like that, would there be jiggle? There's a good possibility there would be jiggle. Just saying. I don't know. But anyway, I guess nobody really has any strong opinions. Still here and about to clean up some 3D prints. Woohoo, rant on, my man. Well, I just don't understand. I don't understand why people are so upset. I don't mind. Okay. A lot of people are in the middle on most topics. You just don't hear from them on the internet because the internet promotes the drama takes. I mean, that's a good point. That is a good point because I feel like especially on the Twitter X, I don't know if you've noticed this, but like I have two different accounts. I have an account where I just follow the stuff that I really want to know about or I'm really interested in. And then there's an account that has some other stuff. I'll just say there's some other stuff. So I have my Robbie Michaels account and I have my Order 42 show account, right? Whenever I switch between them, it automatically puts me in the For You section on Twitter. And in that section are some of the craziest stuff. And it's almost like I saw a tweet today from somebody that said, I feel like Twitter is just trying to make my blood pressure go up. Because everything it serves me is stuff that is going to make me so angry. I feel like that's a problem. I feel like that's a big problem. And Stellar Blade is, I think, the thing that we should all rally around and say, you know what? I enjoy games like Bloodborne, Dark Souls, Elden Ring. I like games like that. And you know what makes those games even better? Jiggle physics. And if jiggle physics is what it's going to take for the world to come together, so be it. I honestly don't have I don't care. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things where I see it and I go, I mean, I get the talk. The reason that I wanted to play that game wasn't because of jiggle physics. It was because I love the look of that game. It's the same reason why I bought Cyberpunk and still haven't played more than like 20 minutes of it. It's because I like the aesthetic. So I don't know. I don't know. Certain groups have no lives and look for anything to complain about. I mean, that's true too. And some news outlets seem to do nothing but post hot takes. So, yeah. Uh Last Jedi is the most perplexing, divisive, makes no sense movie, but I will say it's the best out of the sequel trilogy. That's my review. And Matt, that's how I think how most people feel. But I will say that there are things that I really, and this is the, I think that's the worst thing about the sequel trilogy is that I think what's so frustrating about it is that there's so much potential. There's so much potential there for some really, really great stuff to really be, to delve into some of the cool stuff. Like, I'll tell you this, when, I almost said what's her face, Ray, it's not a hard name to remember. But when she's sitting on the rock and Luke is standing there and he's saying, reach out, right? And she starts seeing the island, life, death. I mean, seriously, again, you can say what you want about the toss. You can say what you want about the, your mama jokes at the end. But that right there, to me, that right there was the heart of Star Wars. And when people said that it seems like Rian Johnson doesn't get it, I thought he was getting it. Like, I thought, okay, this is good. And then other things happened, and you're like, I don't know about that. So it's just a weird thing. But there are moments in each one of those movies that I really like. But altogether, it's like an Oreo that's been sitting out for days. You know? Like it's stale. It's stale and it doesn't taste great. There are little hints of that thing that you used to love. But overall, it just leaves you with a bad taste in your mouth. That's my review of the sequel trilogy. I thought Finn was going to be the Jedi up until the leaked action figure gave it away that it was going to be her instead. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I mean, look, Finn got done dirty. There's no way around it. I mean, from that first, seriously, the teaser trailer for Force Awakens, the first thing you see is a black stormtrooper, and you're like, okay, what's this about? And there were people that got mad at that. I feel like the hate train started right then, and it just never stopped. And it's like there are people that I feel like, man, if all you see is negativity, maybe the problem is you. Just saying. And you know what? It's not gonna affect me. If you want to sit there, and I'm not talking to you, I'm talking about in general. If a person wants to sit there and just be negative all day, fine. But it's when you give that person a voice. They go on the internet and they just rant and rave and rant and rave, and then somebody gets a hold of that tweet and they retweet it and all that kind of stuff, and then all of a sudden you're reading some of these takes that you're just like, how can you be so negative about everything? I remember there was a point in my life, and this was probably in my, God, when was it? Probably my mid 30s. Mid 30s. Okay? This was before I went through all my health crap. With the, 7 surgeries and all that such, right? But it was in my mid 30s when I realized that I was pretty negative about everything. I would complain about the smallest things. And I feel like a lot of people, they just get stuck, especially if you're on the internet, that you get stuck in this pattern of negativity. And I'm not saying that negativity isn't warranted. Not at all. But that negativity was about everything. driving up to a parking lot and bitching about how people parking. Oh my god, look at this paper. And then I mean it seemed like I would replay the day and I'm like, dude, almost everything I said was negative today. It was there was no positivity, there's no middle ground. It was all negative like all day long. And it just got me thinking and it started to I started to catch myself saying something really negative and really now sometimes negativity can be funny. It can be really funny if done well. And of course, that's why Twitter and X, Instagram, whatever, they pick up on that shit. Oh man, this guy is funny, but he's negative. And then you start to realize that that's all that it is. It's just a pattern of negativity. And I started to catch myself. And I started to go, you know what? I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say that negative thing that I'm thinking. And then all of a sudden I realized, wow, I feel lighter. I feel happier. I feel like I have a better outlook. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are in this pattern of negativity and they can't get out of it and they don't know how to get out of it. And all I got to say is just take a look at yourself and think about your day and go, "Hey, was there anything positive about today?" Oh yeah, this happened and then this happened and then this happened, but that's not what you remember, right? It's just like when I used to work at Blockbuster or any job, any retail job, really. And you think about, oh my god, all the shitty customers. Really? Think about all the really awesome customers there were. Think about all the people like somebody would make you laugh or make you smile. Just a smile is better than yeah, you know? And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I started I started realizing that I mean part of that was my wife commenting on it. She's like, "You're negative about a lot of things." And then I started to realize that's all I do is bitch all day long. So anyway, oh yeah, if it's actually warranted. Yeah. Somebody, but see like here's the thing. People cutting you off in traffic, that's just going to happen. It just is. People are going to be self-absorbed jackasses. They're not going to get over when they know that the lane is ending. They're going to do things that are going to piss you off. Just know that that's going to happen. And the only thing that you can control is how you react to that situation. So once you do that. So basically what I'm trying to say is that titties and ass can bring the world together. And we should let it. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. uh Negativity is fine. Yeah, I already said that. But if someone needs cheering up, I'll be happy to be positive to help. It's like Michael Douglas and falling down. Yeah, a little bit. But here's what's funny. I remember there was a woman that I was working with, and she was having a bad day. I heard her conversations, and I heard about whatever. And I don't remember what I said. I wish I remember what I said because this was like 15 years ago, 13 years ago. But it's one of those things where she never let me forget that. She remembers that day, and she remembers that I'm the one that pulled her out of that. That she was in a hole of negativity and chaos and regret. And I pulled her out of that hole at the end of the day. It was toward the end of the day. But I remember saying it. And I remember seeing her she just started cracking up. And then she just said, "Thank you. I needed that so bad." And she's never let me, every time I saw her, she said, I'll never forget that. That was such a, it was like, that was my good deed for the day. You know what I mean? It felt like a good deed that I helped somebody get out of that hole, And that's, I don't know. I feel like more people should do that. I didn't do it for any other reason, but because, hey, she's having a bad day. I'm going to say something really messed up. It's going to make her laugh. There you go. You're getting your camera finally tomorrow. Yes, Wraith. I don't know what that means for the future, but I'm happy for you. And hopefully that means that next time we do a get together, which we should be doing pretty soon. Like, it's been too long. But yeah, we should do that. And you should be on it. And it should be fun. And everybody will be happy. So yay. Or is it just for your stream? Either way, I'm excited for you. You sound excited. I'm excited for you. Okay, guys. Yeah. Banana butterscotch custard. Banger. Banger. It's a banger. So here's the deal. I have to urinate. I have to make water. I need to have a place. You ever, this is funny. I said this. This is one of those things. I have a tendency of saying a phrase or a word that gets people, it sticks in people's brains. One of the things that I said is I need to find a place to put my pee. And I heard Billy say that at one point, and I thought that was funny. I'm like, oh yeah, I did say that to him. I have this infectious thing where I come up with terms like that. So I'm going to go put my pee in there. Not in here because that would not be sanitary. I'm going to go put my pee in there in this other room. And I'll be right back. So, okay, be right back. You're getting an Osmo Pocket 3? Okay, I'm kind of jealous. I want one of those. Here's the thing. I really can't figure out why I would need one. But man, I want one. I want this one right here that comes with the microphone. Oh, there you go. That comes with all the things. Can I click on that? Yeah. I want this. I can't justify it. I don't know what I would use it for. Other than, conventions. That would come in so handy for a convention. But man, 99% of my life, I can't justify that. But then again, I might find reasons. But again, that's dude, it's almost $700. I can't justify it. But yeah, I just bought a lens for my camera. It's a Sigma 6600 millimeter. I'm trying to capture the eclipse that is happening next Monday. It's coming pretty much like right over us. I'm excited to see it. We already bought glasses and things. So we're gonna try to see it. But yes, eclipse. I didn't buy any camera stuff because that's one of those things where I just can't see myself. There's going to be super professionals that are going to take way better pictures than I ever could. So I might as well see it for myself and try to enjoy it. It's like I remember my dad at like air shows. My dad would like, you know, get it all excited about, oh, I'm gonna film it. And I'm like, okay, first off, it's gonna be all crazy shaky and all that stuff. But when you just don't you just want to watch it, look at it, and enjoy it with your own freaking head. Let your head see the things instead of you looking at it at a tiny thing that's. Anyway, looking forward to seeing you stream with your face out in the world, Wraith. New Zealand's daylight savings finally ends this weekend, so I'll be able to catch more of your streams. I didn't realize that you guys were so far behind the rest of us. Daylight savings is dumb anyway. They should just get rid of it. Because guess what? I still feel like my body is still on wintertime whatever. Because I have a hard time going to sleep before 3. It's tough. I don't know. And then I have trouble. I try to get up at the regular time, but then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna sleep some more. Hi, Rachel. Rachel, good to see you. But yeah, it's yeah. Yeah. You need a specific, you want that same one? Yeah. The creator combo, 669. I have no camera at all, and I do plan on recording for traveling, aka Retropalooza this year. Retropalooza. I don't know why I keep doing that. That it doesn't even make any sense. Why do I do that? Is it just something to do with my hands? I don't know what to do with all these hands. Rachel, you missed it. We were just talking about how boobies and booties can bring the world together. Sorry. It's the Stellar Blade BS that we were talking about. DJI has a new cinema camera. It's $12,000. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But you know what? The thing is, I would love to have a big, crazy, badass camera. You vote for booties? Well, I mean, you definitely get booties in that game. I'm just saying. I don't understand. I still don't understand. But hey, here's the thing. We've got about 30 minutes left in the stream or so. I mean, we can end it. We can screw it. We just end it right now. Bye. I'm just kidding. I'm back. Here's the thing. Bucho came up with some things in the topics thread over on Discord. Topics channel. Whatever. He came up with some things, and I wanted to get your opinions on some of these things and some of the ideas that I had while reading this. What non-musicals, so a movie that is not a musical, what non-musicals would you like to see remade as a musical? And begin. What would you like to see? I thought of 2 movies that would be really interesting as a musical. So, yeah. If you had an Osmo 3, what would you do with it? Wraith, are you Titan AE? I like Titan AE. Back to the Future, Schindler's List as a musical? I don't know how you would do that. What would I do with an Osmo 3? I would probably film, because here's the thing. I really enjoyed doing those, the book hunt type things that I was doing. Tolkien hunt. It's basically book chasers, okay? This is basically what it was. But it was only a few different episodes, but I really enjoyed doing it. I love driving. I thought it'd be great, but I don't know. Consider 7 given the Moulin Rouge pop music treatment. Well, here's the thing. I have two that I want to mention, and I just want you to I'm going to say one of them and just think about it, okay? First off, a movie that I love, Boogie Nights. That could actually be done pretty well, I think. That could actually. Boogie Nights is a good one. Tremors, The Rocketeer, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Godzilla minus one. Yep, all good choices. I like it. But I think Boogie Nights would actually make it. I mean, that would be pretty good. Holy cow, Boogie Nights is a great call. So here's the movie that I was thinking. This is the first one that came to my head. A movie with two really great actors and seriously, two really great actors from 1987. Lethal Weapon. I mean, seriously, Lethal Weapon as a musical. Don't you want to see the I'm Too Old for This Shit song play out? Seriously, come on. I think I'm onto something with that one. I think I am. Wait, is it a Christopher Walken movie? No, it's not. Actually, anything with Christopher Walken in it could be fun. Lost Boys? Lost Boys might be. Oh, that's a good one. A song called "They're Only Noodles," Michael. That's the name of one of the songs. They're Only Noodles. I like it. Step Brothers, The Other Guys, Pulp Fiction. That's I mean, yeah. Here's the other one. Yeah. 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 Dude, that movie's that musical would start with Royale with cheese. I don't know how you would do it, but I could see that happening. But the other one that I came up with was Predator. I just I don't know. I think what I pictured was like an almost like an old timey kind of play where there's multiple layers of forest or of jungle, right? And the predator is like he's like looking for the guys, and like the guys are running one way and the predator is running like a couple of layers back, and they keep, you know what I mean? For some reason I got that picture in my head and I thought, I mean, that's more of a play, but that could work. Just saying. Just saying. Long tall Sally. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Well, I mean, isn't that already a musical? And Aladdin too, right? Weren't those musicals? I think they already did those. Godfather Part 3, it might make it into a better movie. Maybe. Austrian Death Machine already make amazing music for Arnold. Dude, Total Recall. I can't be funny here. I try. Hey, just saying. I mean, I thought that's what I was like. Wait a minute. Imagine the Predator singing with a Bee Gees falsetto. Maybe. But yeah, Total Recall. That's the best. Yeah, Get Your Ass to Mars, right? Yeah. Just a whole song called 2 Weeks. But anyway. So yeah, there you go. But no, I was just, for some reason, I just thought uh See at the Party, Richter. Get Your Ass to Mars. Basic Instinct. I said the Warriors did not go through all these groups, all those groups. It would be perfect. No, I thought. Didn't I say that? Or maybe I skipped over it. Oh yeah, yeah. Warriors. No, I I thought I said it. I'm sorry if I didn't say it. I'm sorry. And now my chat is freaking out. Showgirls, Shaun of the Dead. Yeah. Here's the thing. For me, I'm not a huge musicals kind of guy. Like there are specific ones that I really like. I love Singing in the Rain. Love Moulin Rouge. But for the most part, The Greatest Showman was actually like surprisingly good. That was one where I was kind of irritated that I was gonna have to sit down and watch it with my nieces and nephew. And at the end of it, I'm like, wow, that was good. Joker as a musical. Oh wait, yeah. Apparently they're doing that. So yeah, this was a weird one, but for some reason I kept going way outside the box. And yeah, to me, Lethal Weapon for some reason I think could be really good. A Gary Busey type character, you know. The slogan for Back to the Future play is "Get your tickets yesterday." That's pretty awesome. I wasn't until I started dating my fiance. She's huge into them. I went from not liking musicals to really being into them. Well, I mean, Filbert, I mean, hey, it's see, it was the other way around with me and my wife. I got my wife into Star Wars and sci-fi and Star Trek and all that stuff. And then she went nuts and she's watched I think every Star Trek like over the years. I mean, it's not like oh, she did it in 2 weeks. She watched all of Star Trek. No, it's like, we'll have been married 24 years this year. I'm freaking old, dude. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, it was the other way around. I rubbed off on her. I know there's a joke there, but let's just move on. After your this one's a difficult one for me, and I want to get your guys' help on this one because yeah, Gremlins would be great. Absolutely. But this one is difficult not because I just want to see what you guys think. We've been married the same amount of years. Well, there you go, Rachel. I didn't know that. I don't know why, but my mom had every single Star Trek movie on VHS. It was like 10 of them. Late 90s, though. Collection is long gone now. Yeah, I bought. See, that's one of. Man, that's a. I'm writing that down right now. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, what? Uh, yeah. Yeah. Star Trek. Because I bought a digital version of Star Trek, all the first 10 movies for like $20 digitally. Try to find the Blu-ray of that digitally. You know what I mean? So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, that's one of my things. I mean, we can sit here and we can talk about, oh, we'd rather have the physical, but man, you cannot beat the price sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the next thing on Bucho's list was after your recent comment about how many post The Crow films don't have as much heart as The Crow, which post Crow films are the exception? I.e., which post Crow films do have a solid serving of heart? Now, see, I'm taking this in a direction that I don't know if you. What I was trying to say specifically was that I don't think any of all the Crow sequels, none of them had that same. Like the first movie has heart to it. It has a soul. There's a soulful. You're not just behind Brandon Lee as the Crow because you're supposed to be, or he's the main character. You're in it because you kind of want to see him succeed and you feel for his character. And the sadness that he brings to the character it's potent and it you feel it. I saw a couple of the other Crow movies. I can't tell you. I think I saw the one with Edward Furlong. And one other, and was like, these suck because it's like, yeah, you kill off a guy and then he goes revenge. Okay. But no, there was something about the way that it was portrayed It was different. It was a And to me, in that time period, there was a few movies that had that kind of, like, to me, I thought Bram Stoker's Dracula was a beautiful movie. And it was because there was heart there. Sure, it was vampires, there was gore, and there was, nudity, whatever you want to say. But there was a heart there. And when Gary Oldman says, I love you too much to condemn you, there's pain there. There's an almost there's a need. It's almost like a drug. And there was something about, there were movies in that time period that I was really drawn to. And what I meant was the Crow movies in particular. Now, the way that he writes, the way that Bucho writes this question, it's almost like that I'm saying that there's not a lot of movies with heart after the Crow, and I didn't really mean it that way. So So, what I'm trying to say is, what movies post 1994, and this could be anything, what movies do you like that you feel that soulful connection? You feel that heart, you know what I mean? Where it could be a dumb movie, but you could still feel the heart, you know? And I only came up with three different movies where now, I mean, again, I was trying to move fast. Uh, yeah, because there's a lot of movies that have it, but to me, there are three movies that come to my mind immediately as being absolutely so. I mean, like, holy crap, I feel that. And there's a ton of them. There's probably a ton of movies, but I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. And it doesn't have to be a stupid movie. It could be like a really good movie, like the three I'm about to say: Paddington, Paddington 2, and Wonka. Those three movies have a lot of heart, and they pull on the heartstrings, and they're just really good movies, like really good. But yeah, Click, Family Stone, yeah, just like, and that's what I was trying to say, is that there are movies that may not resonate with everybody, but you feel it, you can feel it. Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy has a lot of heart. I'll tell you this. Okay, so I told you the story about, this was the first movie that I went to the theater by myself after my first initial three surgeries, right? Where I thought I wasn't going to make it. And so this was the first movie where I felt almost a wave of emotion going in, because it was like, I love the movie theater. I love going to see movies. This is the first one after I thought, you know what, I might not make it out of this hospital. But no, I'm out of the hospital. I'm basically living on my own because my wife is in another country at the time. I'm going to go see a movie. One of the things that I love to do, I'm going to do something that makes me feel normal again. And so I sit down in Guardians of the Galaxy, and what is the first scene? A scene in a hospital. And I'm like, I got to be the only person in here crying in the first 5 minutes of Guardians of the Galaxy, right? But then the movie happens, and the movie's amazing. It's so much fun and all that stuff. It's funny, and it's cute and it's funny, whatever. When the whole you know when they're holding on to the thing, right, and he's holding on to it, and he sees his mom, immediately crying that first time, immediately, because it was like, oh, there's that hospital again, you know what I mean? But yeah, absolutely, Guardians of the Galaxy that's a great answer, because yeah, that one hits me too. That one definitely hits me. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen that one in a while. It'd be interesting to see if I still feel the same. But I love that. The movie's just so good. Like, I see that. And when people say James Gunn can't make a good Superman movie, I'm like, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, my money is that James Gunn is probably gonna he's probably gonna kick ass. I mean, I don't know, but that dude can that dude can make some movies and make me feel things like when I didn't think I was gonna feel things. That's that's a talent. I've seen so many movies by myself. I prefer it that way. It's one of my favorite things to do. But it's also it just so happens that a lot of the movies that I want to see, my wife also wants to see, and if I go see it without her, it's not like she'd, get like crazy mad at me, but she would be disappointed. And there's nothing, I mean, look, yeah, sure. If you don't like your spouse, who cares, right? But I she's my best friend. I love her and I want to do things with her. And I don't the one thing that I don't want, I mean, I make her mad every now and then when I do something stupid or, forget to do something or whatever, but disappointing her, not something I want to do. So yeah, if you think, hey Rob, why haven't you watched this movie that's been on your list for however long? I go, hey, okay, I make my wife happy. Anyway, uh, but I love going to see movies by myself too. I love it. I love it so much. I love just not having to worry about anything else except sitting there and going, I could just watch this movie. Because when I went and watched Late Night with the Devil, I was answering to nobody. I was there by myself. I knew she wasn't going to watch it. I wanted to see it. I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is awesome. I love it. Yeah, you love that? Well, I mean, that's the way I look at it, Rachel. I mean, it's just the truth, I guess. You know? Basically, theater time is Rob's time. I love it. I do love it. And I probably will go see Civil War by myself, but I'm just guessing. Look, just guessing. April's probably going to want to go see Ungentlemanly Warfare because, I mean, it's Henry Cavill. And even I can't be angry at my wife thinking Henry Cavill is, awesome. So, a lot of the best superhero movies have been made by horror directors. Oh, I'm single, so I don't have to be dragged to something I don't want to be at. Single life, simple life. I agree with you, Matt. But at the same time, my wife's pretty cool, and she likes a lot of the movies that I like. You know, you can tell how much you like her when you talk about her. Oh well, I like her. I like her quite a bit. I mean, 24 years, I bet her, right? That would suck. It would suck to be married to somebody for that long and be like, man, she's all right, I guess. You know. Make sure to go to the next Ana de Armas movie, Ballerina, right? That's the next Ana de Armas. But and this is, I think this question is mostly for me, but she says, Bucho says, I was thinking of my wife again. What was the music played around the house in the car in your earliest days by your parents? And did any of it stick with you or influence you? In particular, was your fandom of the Police spurred by hearing it played by parents or even your aunt who introduced you to a lot of movie stuff? No. The Police, my love of the Police started with Wrapped Around Your Finger. And it was the music video on music television, which we used to call MTV back in the day. MTV premiered, and I remember when MTV came out, me and my sister, my sister's 7 years older than me, and my cousins. I would stay over with my cousins and my aunt, right? And on during the summer, that's where I would stay. I wouldn't stay home, because my sister was older and she was doing, teenage stuff. She didn't want little Rob hanging out and doing shit. But yeah, I we watched a lot of MTV, and my sister and I watched a lot, and we would just have it on all day. And then I go over to my niece's or my cousin's house, watch it. Of course, with her, she'd be more like, let's watch, Hogan's Heroes and Get Smart and all that kind of stuff, which, okay. But I really got excited with the movies. But yeah, I watched a lot of MTV back in the day. And I probably still would if music wasn't so shitty. Not all music is shitty, but you know what I mean. I loved MTV. Loved it. And for whatever reason, that song just captured me. And it's the look of the video. Yes, the candles. Uh it just it was a beautifully shot video, but it was also the chord structure, everything about it. I just really dug it. And then I heard because it wasn't every breath you take. I'm not a huge fan of that song, and it's not because oh it's a stalker song or anything like that. It's just that it was so overplayed that I didn't like it as much. But I would hear King of Pain from time to time. I would hear what's the other? I heard Synchronicity 2. It's the first song on the second side, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I heard Synchronicity 2 one time on the radio, and they said this is the Police, and of course I recognized Sting's voice, and I was like I have to get this, and I never heard the song after that, so I was like, oh, it's on the album. I got to get the album because I love that song and I love Wrapped Around Your Finger, and that was a tape. That was my first official release that I ever purchased, and I listened to it over and 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 over. I listened to that so much, and there's something about the way that Sting constructs his music, because he was really the mastermind in a lot of ways. I mean, of course, you had Stuart Copeland and you had Andy Summers, right? They they all crafted the songs together, but there was something about the way that because you can hear the same, not chord structure, but the same almost theory, my music theory. This is probably over some people's heads, or I'm just talking bullshit, in which case, hey, it's my stream. Anyway, there's something about the language of the music is similar between Sting's solo efforts and the Police. So I always thought in my head that Sting was the mastermind of all the music. I could be completely wrong on that. But anyway, yeah, that was the first album I ever bought. And then I bought in fact, I think I still have the tape. And I think Wraith earlier, didn't you ask about a good place to find good cassette tapes? Apparently garage sales and estate sales, because that's where Billy and Jay have purchased a lot of them lately. But I'm not a huge cassette tape guy. Of course, if anybody ever if you're out and about and you run across some Nine Inch Nails vintage cassette tapes, just buy them for me and send them to me and I'll pay for it. Seriously. Also, I would love to have a long box. You remember the long box? When the CDs came in the big cardboard slips things? I would love to have an original Pretty Hate Machine in a long box. If I could, hey, just in case you're out and about and you happen to see it, don't make it a thing. Don't go like scouring eBay for stuff. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you're out and about and you happen to see it, hey, hook a brother up, okay? But anyway, I bought along with the Police, because I got a gift certificate to Record Bar. Remember Record Bar? Record Bar has been around a long time. Okay, there was Music Land, there was Record Bar. At least that's where I was. So I bought the tape for Synchronicity and listened to it countless times. And then I bought the 45 for Yes, the band Yes, Leave It, because the video was so interesting because they did multiple versions of the video. The video had they were basically the five of them, the five band members, sort of just standing there, and they would do different video effects, and there were different versions of the video, so they were playing it a lot. And that song just got stuck in my head. And of course, I love Owner of a Lonely Heart. It's probably my favorite. It's up there in my top 5 80 songs. Owner of a Lonely Heart. I love that song, and I love Yes. So and yeah, yeah. So it's funny. I never bought that album with Owner of a Lonely Heart and yet and Leave It on it, but I did buy the single, the 45 record of Leave It, and I still have it. So there you go. But yeah, the if there was look, I love Nine Inch Nails. Nine Inch Nails is probably my favorite band ever, but the most influential is absolutely The Police and Sting. You can hear a lot of it. And again, it's more about the language of music. A lot of my music follows his language. But if you were, I told this really crazy long story. Uh, Sorry, because that's what happens here, you know? But there was a band that my mom loved she listened to all the time, and that I would say is a passing influence, like an influence that over time I realized that yeah, I can see some of the influence there. The Bee Gees. She loved the Bee Gees. So for me, those were definitely um that was definitely a thing. My dad was in the country, and he listened to Ronnie Millsap, and he listened to um he loved Roger Roger oh god, what is his name? Dang me? Dang me? I always called it Dang Me. Roger Miller. He loved Roger Miller for some reason. But he also liked, see, that's the thing is by the time that I came around to really listening to music, they were getting out of their 60s rock stuff, and they were more into Hall and Oates. Oh my god. I forgot about Hall and Oates. Hall and Oates is definitely an influence. Um Big time. So I would say the number one influence would be the Police. Number two would be Hall and Oates. Number three would be Bee Gees. As far as stuff that I used to listen to back then, my sister liked, you know, she liked Motley Crue and all this shit that I don't. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't like them. I never liked Motley Crue. Never. Poison. Mm-mm. No. Def Leppard. Oh hell yeah. Love Def Leppard. But all that other crap. No. There were very few heavy metal or hair metal bands that I actually liked. It's just, how dare you not like Crew or Poison? Well, it's because they suck. That's the reason I don't like them. So, you want to start some shit on the internet? I will go off. I just never liked them. I could never connect with them, and I thought their music was you know what it is? There's a to me the Police and Yes, and which is weird that I never really got into Pink Floyd until much later. And yeah, no one sucks. So your love for Bon Jovi is more recent. Bon Jovi was one that I actually liked back then, but I heard it so many times, and I started to hear this is this is this is something I can't explain. But there are certain artists, when you hear their music, you go, "Oh, that's catchy." But then there's this underlying mediocrity that I can't get over. Brian Adams is one that I was like, man, there was a lot of songs that Brian Adams, huge hits, huge hits. But man, Brian Adams is one of those artists where there's just this underlying layer of mediocrity and just bleh. John Cougar Mellencamp, another one. Big, huge. I mean, multi-million dollar or multi-million sales. You know what I mean? John Cougar Mellencamp, John Mellencamp, John Cougar, Cougar Mellencamp, Mellencamp John, whatever his fucking name is. Huge, right? but there's this underlying layer of suck there that you just can't once you hear it and once you realize it's there, you just go, God, this is terrible. And to me, Bon Jovi is one of those that over the years, I can't stand them. I can't freaking stand them. None of their stuff. I had Slippery When Wet on cassette back in the day. You bet your ass I did. But man, what a I'm sorry. I just can't stand it. Now I'm way behind because we're talking music now. You remember the video? Oh yeah, the videos are great. Back when MTV was good, or if they played music. Country music and Irish music. I grew to hate that music. My culture shock to music was when I was 3 and watched the music video Freak on a Leash by Korn on TV. I still remember that. 97. Wow. Wow. 3 years old? So you were born the year that I graduated high school. Wow. Sting is a next level songwriter. I know you don't listen to Rick Beato much, but he has a really fun, fairly recent Stuart Copeland interview, and he says Sting was the mastermind. There you go. So that's what I mean, you hear that same level of care when it comes to the lyrics, the way that the music is structured with him as a solo artist and him with the Police. So that's what I figured. It's a little bit of a vindication though in my theory that I just said. Gary has some Nine Inch Nails CDs he's bringing me. We'll be on the lookout. Uh-oh. Well, here's the thing. I would say don't go overboard, okay? Please. Again, it's one of those things where I have a lot of crap, but I also don't want anybody to feel like, oh, we're at this place, let's buy a bunch of no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But if you happen to see, especially what I'm thinking of are the cassettes, the release of the Downward Spiral on cassette, I would love. And the double cassette, this is really rare, the double cassette of the Fragile from 99. Yeah, who was buying freaking cassettes in 99? I don't know. Not me, but I would love to have that because I think it'd be cool. But yeah, I would love to have it. But I don't want you to go overboard and you know what I'm saying? Boner with a Lonely Heart. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Korn and Alice in Chains are my favorite bands. I love Korn. I don't know why I said that. I like Korn. I love Alice in Chains though. Holland Oates. Yeah, exactly. And look, I'm sorry. I don't like I don't like Crew, don't like Poison. Phil Collins is another one. Love Phil Collins. Love Phil Collins. Phil Collins is one of those artists that um like I was shocked at how many songs I really really like. Like I started like listening to like a greatest hits and I'm like, "Holy crap, I forgot about this song. This song's amazing. This song's great." And then you hear his work with Genesis and it's like, "Oh my god. I love this song." So, yeah, Phil Collins is definitely one of those. But Bon Jovi just I'm sorry. I can't I can't do Bon Jovi, man. It's just like I said, there's just a layer of once you hear it and once you realize it's there, it starts to taint every other piece. Like the Police is the for me is the exact opposite. Where it's like, "Oh, you like this Police song? Okay. Do you like this one? Oh, you do. Okay, well then here's their entire discography. You're going to love it." That's pretty much what happened for me. Because I bought, in fact, I wish I could just hold on. Hold on. Sorry, I had to go to the other room. Yeah. Oh, you bet. You bet your ass I have it. And look what it was. Manufactured for BMG Direct Marketing. That's right. Record Club. But this is an awesome set. An awesome set. Love it. Love it. Every single track. Good stuff. Good stuff. In fact, I kind of want to listen to this again. It's been a while. Of course, I have it on Apple Music. I'm really lucky that way. I've heard just about every police. In fact, I have police Blu-rays and DVDs in here. Police was my jam. Love them. Are you saying Bon Jovi is the Michael Bay of hair bands? That's an interesting question and an interesting analogy. Here's what I don't understand. So when I okay, it was about 8 o'clock, right? When we made this, I just put the dryer on, and it just finished 2 hours later. Because when I went to get the nicotine, I also was like, oh crap, I'm gonna put that stuff in the dryer. It just took 2 hours to dry towels. Just saying, I feel like that's a little weird. I might need to do that whole thing, cleaning out the dryer thing. This is old people talk, apparently. Anyway, you're collecting tapes now. See, that's the thing. I can't. It to me, collecting tapes. And again, I'm not trying to dissuade you from anything. And if I did, I would actually be a little upset that you were so easily distracted by my rantings. But for me, there, I love movies, right? Some people are, I would think that a lot of people are like, well, why don't you collect VHS? And I'm like, because it's a, a seriously compromised format. DVD is kind of the same way, but at least DVD is digital. And in most cases, you can, I would say most 98% right now are still playable. Cassette tapes, man, I don't have anything that can. I might have something that can play cassette tapes, but in fact, I need to uh, convert my old band tapes, and I mean when I was playing guitar and shit. I still need to do that. Convert those to digital. I haven't done it. I feel bad. And that's one of those where I wrote a bunch of music, a bunch of lyrics, oh, woe is me kind of music. But there is one song that I still think that song is badass. I don't care what anybody says. I love that song, and I think it's just good. I like it. But anyway, I just love the noise it makes when you insert the cassette and press the play button. Oh, I get you. I get you. But to me, that's still like, I don't know, man. I guess it's just such an inferior format to CD and then in a lot of ways to Apple Music or Tidal or Spotify. Well, not Spotify. Spotify has some pretty. I've heard some really bad things about Spotify. I mean, I was pretty much a day one Apple Music owner guy person thing because at the time when it came out, I got it for free. Um, yeah, and then I just continued it because my wife and I both got addicted to it. So there you go. Yes, dude, I've listened to your keyboard songs dozens of times, but I'd love to hear your old rock band one day. Oh, it's I would say this is one of those where like I mean, if you've been to Game Dave stream, he's talked about his music, you know? And he, there are songs that he still likes, but then there are songs that kind of embarrass him. I would be insanely embarrassed to play some of these. but there's one that I think the lyrics are not great, but the song is just, I love it. And the bass line, I was pretty much the mastermind of, if you want to call it that, of our little band. But the I will full credit where credit's due. The bass line that guy wrote, his name is Brian. Not Brian from Switched On, different Brian. But the bass line that he wrote was, it changed the song and it made the song 10 times what it was. I thought it was cool before, but he made it 10 times better. And I think we recorded this stuff in my garage and it sounds bad. It sounds really bad. I wonder if I could clean it up. Now see, now I'm thinking, dude, I should like remaster. That could be an interesting challenge. Here's something, okay, we're going to get to the last cuz there's one more thing. One more question that Bucho, or one more topic that Bucho came up with that I think deserves at least some attention. But and maybe did I mention this last week? So here's the deal. I got into a thing where I've been reading War of the Jewels, which is, oh, it's right here. It's the 11th book in the 12-volume History of Middle Earth, right? For some reason I got into this mindset of, I want to listen to Tolkien, I want to hear how he pronounces Sauron, right? Because in the movies there's Sauron, but they roll the R's. I can't do that. Okay. I've never been able to roll R's. I'm too white, apparently. I don't know, but I can't do it. But I wanted to hear him pronounce it. Like, is it actually, like, to me, it looks like Sauron to me, not Sauron, you know, Sauron. Es muy bueno. Yeah. I can't do it. But I wanted to hear Tolkien himself say it. So I started listening to a bunch of Tolkien reading stuff, right? J.R.R. Tolkien reading stuff. And some of it is so bad and it sounds terrible. And I thought, you know, I worked on a movie, guys. Remember Adventures in Game Chasing? By the way, available on Apple, Amazon, and available to stream on Tubi. Anyway, I still have that software, sound editing software, right? So I thought, why not give it a shot? Put it through those filters, see if I can clean it up, see if I can make it sound better. The results were impressive. So impressive that I had April come in here and I said, okay, just go with me here. Do you think this is worth doing? And I played her the original and then I played her the cleaned up version. And she goes, okay, that is impressive. That is impressive that you were able to clean that up that much. And I'm like, I thought it was kind of cool. And I'm like, if this is how bad all the archived stuff, I think I did tell this story. Is if this is how bad it is, I'm gonna do this. Because number one, I love Tolkien. And number two, this could be something that I could use on my resume. Like, hey, listen to what I did here. So I start looking into it. And yeah, all of that's already been cleaned up. What I was listening to, there was a record, a vinyl record that was released in the 60s or 70s of Tolkien reading these things. That's the recording that I was listening to. Apparently, there is very, very clean versions of it on the official Tolkien Estate website. So, yeah. So, yeah. I don't know what my point to all that was. Oh, the point is I could do that for my old band tapes and maybe make them sound a little better. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. Here's the last. We're already late. We're already late, guys. We've already gone too long. We've gone too long. But we're going to do this last point, okay? Okay, The three-legged notion, the three-legged idea, the three-legged table, tripod, right? To me, movies are a thing where one leg is story, one leg is character, and one leg is all the technical stuff. So basically, the music, the way it looks, all that stuff, right? So if one of those legs is short, so if the story is not great, table falls over. If the character sucks, table falls over. If the technical stuff looks bad, table falls over, right? That was basically my it's a thing that I've kind of had in my head for a long time. I don't know if it sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but for the most part, a movie will work is it's got three great legs, you know? Not like boobies and booty, three great legs on this table. So you've got a good character leg, good story leg, and you're technically on the level. That's what makes a good movie. Okay? But recently, Christopher Nolan did this interview, and we talked about it on stream, about how Tenet is really just a vibe movie. It's really just I don't want you to like he's like I don't want you to sit there and try to figure out the story. That's not what it's about. It's about the experience. It's about just watching it. It's a ride. It's just fun, right? So, the Bucho's question: how does the three-legged stool notion stack up when considering Nolan's comments about how sometimes he cares only about the vibe leg, to the point his story and character legs can be really wobbly? What are some other Tenet-like vibe movies you dig? So, basically, movies that you can look at and you go, there's a lot wrong here, but I still like the movie. Okay? There you go. It's been over 3 hours, but your voice is sounding strong. Well, it's another 7 hours. I don't think so. Sounds like you're ready to make the next movie. Billy did give a hint recently of what it may be. Yes, it may be. Yes, it may be exactly what you're saying or thinking. But so a movie where it's lacking in character or it's lacking in story, it's even lacking in the technical side, but you still admire the movie, you still like the movie, you still love the movie. Okay? I have two examples. And again, as I'm talking, I'll probably come up with more. The first one is a movie that I think most people will agree it's not great. There are multiple things wrong with this movie, but the vibe is something that I just love. Tron Legacy. Pretty weak characters. Not really it's not great. The story is a little lacking, kind of almost jumbled and dare I say slow. But man, I love that. I love watching that movie. That is a movie that I can just watch and vibe to. And mostly it's probably just because it's Daft Punk and the visuals with Daft Punk. I love it. I love that movie. So I'm kind of curious, is anybody else feeling that way? I still haven't seen Tron Legacy. I would definitely recommend it. And not Gary says, yes, Tron Legacy story is not great at all, but I love the movie. Its atmosphere is just amazing. Yeah. The Twilight movies, they're comforting to me, but so bad. See, I've never seen. In fact, I saw the first one. I saw the first one because I'm like, okay, here's the thing. Just like there are people that are not into boy wizards that watch the first Harry Potter just to see, okay, what's all the fuss about? To me, that's what I did with Twilight. And I watched the first Twilight and went, wow, that is not for me. I'm so happy that they're comforting to you though. I just can't vibe with it. As much as it pains me to say it, the first Twilight movie has something to it. I want to bash it so bad, but I just can't do it. See, I think it's the I don't know. Hmm, I never watched it more than once, and I think part of it is I can't remember their names. Wolf Boy, the Wolf Boy, was so bad. Like he's a like. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to that actor, but he's not good in that movie. Not believable at all. Robert Pattinson just looks upset, or the way that he almost looks sick when he's looking at um Kristen Stewart, and then Kristen Stewart constantly um doing the things that she does. Like, wasn't she biting her lip a lot? Isn't she? Isn't? It's why I didn't like him in Batman. See, the weird thing though is to me, it was different in the Batman. It was character driven, not, I don't know. Look, I get it. If you don't like the Batman because of Robert Pattinson, I mean, I can't really argue with you. I'll just say that I've seen a bunch of Robert Pattinson movies and I've been impressed ever since Twilight. But he looks like he smells shit all the time. Maybe that's it. Maybe that is it. I liked Robert Pattinson in Remember Me. I never saw that one, but I think he was amazing in The King, which has my boy Timothy Chalamet in it. Love The King. Great movie. I also saw him, or was it, is it Good Times? Um, what's that other? I saw him in a bunch of movies, basically. I went on a Robert Pattinson kick because I'm like, I got to know this guy. So I've been impressed with him, but I need to know. So I watched a bunch of Robert Pattinson movies in a row and was like super impressed. Not all the movies were great, but he was really good. Three Ninjas is a good time. Never seen it. The Lighthouse. Oh, The Lighthouse. I mean, oh my god. Yeah. But here's the next movie, and this was what's that elephant movie he was in? Elephant movie. I don't know about that one. I just I just think that Pattinson is good. Water elephant something? I don't know. I don't know what that is. But this is a movie that Bucho and I have actually discussed, and um how I'm a much bigger fan of it than he is. And for me, this movie is mostly the story is good. Maybe there's some holes in the story. Characters, and I do not know. The characters are a bit cold, and there's not a lot there character wise. But the vibe is good. The vibe is awesome. The vibe is yes. Give me, give me all the vibes of Inception. Inception is another movie. Now, it's a good movie. I mean, I think most people would agree, yeah, it's a pretty good movie. But it's not perfect. It's not perfect. And that movie is definitely one where the vibe puts it over the edge for me, even though the character leg is seriously lacking. But you know what? Man of Steel is a good one too. But I don't love Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel quite a bit, but it's mostly because, wow, that's interesting. Another Hans Zimmer score. But Henry Cavill, is just he's so damn likable. But that movie's, I mean, I don't know. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. But yeah, the score is good. Did I see the poster for Joker 2? Did they actually release it? Joker 2 poster? Is that the poster? Apparently, if it'll come up. Okay, that's wow. Wow. Okay. Let me move this here. Let me do this. Let me go down here. Let me change this. Let me get rid of that. This is going to be way too big. And it's going to take me a minute to... Oh, no. It's not going to be that bad. We're going to move this to this. Look at that. Look at this. Like on the fly editing. Man, I'm like the best streamer. All right. Here is the new Joker. What is it? What is it called? Folie à deux. Folie à deux. There it is. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be good. Folie à deux. But, Folie à deux. But wow. I mean, that is a good looking poster. That's just a good looking poster. I don't know what to say. The movie might suck. But yeah, Inception is definitely, yeah, yeah, yeah. Wait for the trailer. You prefer Hot Shots Part Do you? Part Do you? I'm sure visually it will be a vibe, but a musical? Yeah, I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? That's the thing. Here's okay. Okay. If there's one that sounds hyperbole, there is a phrase. KP Senti, how is it going? Good to see you. You love Lady Gaga? Well, I mean, KP Senti, you're a Game Daver guy, man, person, right? Yes. KP Senti, yes. Welcome. I don't think you've been over here before. Good to see you. And yeah, how's it going? But here, what was I saying? Crap. What was I just saying? Oh, there is a phrase that goes out that's on the internet that I can't stand. And it's one of those that it makes me, you know how like when people, when you're reading a tweet or anything, and you see THEIR instead of THEY apostrophe RE, and you're just like, oh God, you know what I mean? It's like that for me when I hear this phrase. Nobody asked for this. I've talked about this before, but the phrase nobody asked for this is the enemy of creativity. Because guess what? We all want. We all want something we've never seen before. So if that's the case, if that's true, and we want something new, I'm tired of remakes and reboots and sequels. Okay, well guess what? The stuff that you want is the stuff that nobody's asking for. Because if they did, we'd already have it. And there would already be a sequel or a remake or a reboot or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So when someone says this doesn't work, because why? Nobody asked for this. Put your head in a very, very full toilet and flush the toilet 100 times. Swirly. You deserve a swirly for that phrase. Whoever came up with it it's just the dumbest phrase. Nobody asked for this. Guess what else nobody asked for? Star Wars. Yeah. Everybody wanted hard-hitting, thrillers and let's see Al Pacino yell at someone else, oh yeah, Anaka. Is that what you want for the rest of your life? Is just dramas? No, George Lucas came out of nowhere and gave you Star Wars, something else that nobody asked for. So anyway, ingenuity, all of that stuff. Nobody asked for it. If you want something new, you want something interesting, guess what? It's going to be something you didn't think of. So for me, that's what it's all about. And the people that say that should just get out of the way and let people do the creative thing. You know what I mean? They should just let them do the thing, because that's what's important. So if you're looking at something that you're thinking about, you're writing, whatever, and you say, "Hey, nobody asked for this." That might be a good thing. It could be terrible. Like if you're writing, you know what I want? I want to write I want to write a story about an alien, a sheep, and a sailor. And it's a love triangle. But it's going to be from the boat's point of view. Pretty sure nobody asked for that. And probably not going to be a hit. But I'm just saying. I don't know what my point was. My point is, yeah, you can come up with something that absolutely nobody would ever want to see. But come on. Don't. Solo was a
You didn't ask for this, but here you go.
not Gary. Thank you for that $20 super chat. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Again, I just appreciate you being here. You don't have to drop dough in here, but I do appreciate that. But you know what I'm saying? That's one of the worst phrases I see when it comes to criticism. Nobody asked for that. Well, nobody asked to hear your shitty opinion either, so just saying. But anyway, yeah. So those are my two mirror vibe movies that I like. Hopefully that answered your question, Bucho. And I seriously, it's so much fun to see. You know what? Screw it. We're playing it again because I like seeing me as Qui-Gon. And of course, Carbonite Dreams is the one that did that. So let's see it again.
You didn't ask for this, but here you go.
I love it. It's just funny. It's just funny, and I like it. But yes, thank you, not Gary. So much for that. But look, here's the thing. I'm out of energy, pretty much, and I'm out of the words. The words are. It's getting to me. Good answers and fun chat. No, that's the thing, man. Yeah, I love it. I love doing the show. You guys know it. And I hope you guys love it too. I'm glad that you're here to be a part of it. And we even got to, I would say break news, break wind, maybe. No, the Joker poster, I hadn't even seen that before. So that was cool to see live. You got to see my reaction live on stream. It's probably not that interesting. Anyway, look, here's the deal. Yeah. You're glad you caught it? Well, KP Cinti, I'm glad that you're here. Even if it's for 5 minutes. I appreciate you being here. And yeah. All the things. Hopefully I get to be on game day again, because that was fun too. But look, I love doing this show. You know I do. And I'm glad that there's people that enjoy listening to me rabble on. Ramble? That's the correct word. Ramble on for a few hours. And I'm glad you enjoyed it. And we'll see you next time. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So, yeah. Game Dave turning me into a late streamer. I mean, I don't know about that. You know, I've been pretty late, but I don't know. Well, he starts an hour later than me, too. So, but look, hey, you guys are awesome. Have a great one. We'll see you on the next stream. There might be some videos, there might be some shorts. Hey, let's see if we can get them done. But I hope you guys had a great one. See you later. Bye. Be brave, stay wild. We will see you on the next adventure.